All right, it is time for day 7 now of the World Championships Swiss stage. I'm Box Kimchi. This is the Kimchi cast, and we got two good, hopefully great matches on the docket. To kick us off, we have the final 2-1 match to determine the last 3-1 team at the tournament and which of the others will be joining the 2-2 pool. So far, we got Deep Lusky and FlyQuest down there, and it's the eternal rivalry of G2T1. Of course, because why not? It's not a world championship. It's not an MSI until these two teams meet up. And then we got Bilibili Gaming, the 1 seed from China, taking on PSG Talon in the MSI rematch. And we'll get to that one when we get there. But G2T1, the history of these two teams, it runs really deep, way too deep. It's really absurd that these two teams keep meeting. I'm not even joking. Like, it is kind of nuts that this team is consistently just facing each other year after year, not even year after year, tournament after tournament. I mean, there's some great moments here. Of course, 2019, G2 get the better of T1 and MSI. Then they get the better of T1, or I guess SKT at the time, at the World Championships. And just this year, T1 paid them back, winning both sets at MSI to knock G2 out of the tournament. And it's not an elimination match here. This is more akin to their upper bracket match from earlier in the year, where the winner got to keep going in the upper bracket, but the loser wasn't out quite yet. That is a Nocturne B1 for G2, and if Caps can get this Orianna, it is a champion. He knows how to maneuver so well. We'll have to just see what he can do with this, because it also could just be taken away. Faker, obviously a champion, or a player not afraid of Orianna, has a skin on it, just got a skin on it. And it's going to be the Ari instead for Faker here. Okay. Okay. See how this goes. It is another cold day here, as it is almost time for the winter. And I'm freezing cold, but hopefully these games are hot. It is Skarner for owner here. And I guess T1, we don't know. They haven't looked great. They did just take down BLG, a team who seems to be in a tailspin at the moment. And that's kind of their big one. It's obviously going to be the Orianna for G2. But both of these teams have beaten Pain Gaming in an LPL team. One of them more impressive than the other, but both these teams really have yet to show us a ton. Both of them had close matches against a tough opponent. For G2, it was Hanwha Life. For T1, it was Top Esports. And then both have won against, I guess, their most recent opponent, obviously, to make it to 2-1, and Pain Gaming. Kind of a tough situation for Pain Gaming. But they're gonna have to show us something here today, because both of these teams need to make their make the fans believe. They've been kind of shaky on the international stage, especially this tournament. And that is Gragas. Okay, if we're gonna bring in some confidence, that is Zeus with the Gragas into Broken Blades' Jax. Okay then. Why not? It's not what I was expecting. I don't think we've seen. Oh my, ow. I don't think we've seen Grag in a bit. I'm not mistaken. I don't think we've had much Gragas. He's been played, but not a ton. Rel going to be taken away. It is just going to be bot lane bans now. So it is just a bunch of bot lane bans. Oh. Zaya gonna be the response here. It is a bit of a dive comp. Zaya would just counter so hard into this Nocturne. Not really worth giving it over. Tom Kench going to be taking away Carrier. One of the players still on the Tom Kench. It's not a... I guess it's not really a pocket pick. Kind of complicated. Guma gonna go for the Jin here. Okay. So, no Kaisa, no Zaya. They have the Ash available here, actually. If they want extreme map pressure with the Nocturne, but they're just gonna go for the Ziggs. I don't love either. Not a big... I can see what you're doing. Oh. It's gonna be the Draven. Both of these teams really love the Draven, so I believe Guma has won on it this tournament. It has not been won on by Hans Samia. He has not gotten to win on the Draven. He busted it out. I don't... Oh, there's been 2 Dravens, and I cannot remember the other one. I believe it is one here, and that was Guma playing it against Pain. And then the other one was Pain playing it, and let's just say it didn't work. To put it nicely, it's going to be the Nautilus for Mickey, I believe. I'm pretty confident when I say that's probably his most played champion of all time. Oh, it was R7 played against 100 Thieves. There you go. And Carrier is not playing that. There's no chance. There's no shot. And it's going to be the Leona locked in. It would have been really fun if he locked in the Pike, but they're going to play smart. They're going to have a nice engage tool, but T1 do not have a ton of hard AD here. They are really relying on, obviously, on Guma, but he is Jin, so his damage is limited for quite a long time. They're going to have a lot from this Ari and Gragas. That is something. That's a lot of AP damage, and that means Jax and Naught are going to be able to stack him pretty easily into double AP. Something, the math checks out where AP is a little bit easier to itemize into, I believe. Maybe not. It's weird. Usually it's just better to commit to double AD than it is to commit to multiple AP. They have a plan here. I don't know what their plan is because I can tell that it's just blow somebody up, but I don't think they have much team fight really. G2, on the other hand, have a lot of damage. Draven is always going to be a ton of damage as we are getting into game 1 in the storied rivalry of this best of 3 between these two teams. Just another cap where just another game. Just how times do these teams, it has to be double digits, right? It's really high. Obviously, G2 going to be playing for the catchouts. That's what I figured out. That's what I meant to say. G2 playing for these catchouts have really good team fight openings. They can just start team fights whenever they want to. And okay, that's different. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Want to see the history. Is Mickey gonna get caught out? Can't hook to safety, and the charm connects for Faker, and it's first blood to Gumayushi, and that's a misplay. Ooh. To Mickey just bit of a misplay. That is a charm level 1 for Faker, so it's gonna make his laning a little weak. He doesn't have any wave clear. But even then, you're chilling. Like, you're still chilling. The kill's a kill. You can play pretty much just auto landing phase anyways. Is problem with the auto attacks is Zeus gonna get a nice early trade onto Broken Blade. This is a W start Guma, as they wanted all the lockdown they could get. Should not be bad. You still get W level 2 on Jin, so it's not as bad as Charm start on Ari, where you pretty much only start Charm and support. Does mess up your farming a little bit. Shouldn't be too bad. When are gonna go invade Yike? No, he's not gonna invade. He's gonna go for a gank onto Caps here as he's finally spotted out. And Caps, ooh, still gets the sidestep. Doesn't even need a flash. The charm not gonna connect. And Caps plays that so calmly. I just, oof. Look, a lot of players not used to the driving mechanics yet. They haven't been playing the Nunu for years. They haven't been playing the new Rift Herald. And it's exposing how many players have not played. It is exposing how many players have not played Scion, have not played Nunu consistently, and it's very. I actually don't know how hard the turning is, because we've seen champions like Scion and Nunu, if you get really good at the driving, you could turn pretty tight on something that's not supposed to turn tightly at all. But don't know if Scion and that Nunu translates the hook onto Carrier, not going to be followed up on by the G2 bot lane. I'm just going to lay down a little harass onto Faker. As he's back. Owner returns to mid. Is he going to get it this time? It's Faker. Going to connect the E this time. And there's the stun. Not going to hit, actually. And Yike is here. Caps just... It's so... Just winning these, man. Winning these 2v1 plays over and over again. As the combo connecting onto Mickey now, but Carrier gonna get locked down. Khans cashes out and picks up the kill on Carrier. And it is... Oh. Welcome to the League of Draven. Welcome to the League of Draven. Population Hansama. And that is a slight gold swing in favor of G2's bot lane. This game is dead even still. Like, this is a dead even game, pretty much. Ooh, this is crazy. This hook doesn't connect. Then just nice root. And then there's just so much damage coming out from Hansama here, and not enough from Guma to really threaten Hans to back off yet. They just don't have the numbers. That's kind of the thing with Draven, is you get a big stat steroid at all times if you can keep your Qs up. And it means you have a lot of damage threat as Carrier not going to connect the stun onto Broken Blade. As BB going to just walk at the G2 bot lane. Or at the T1 bot lane. Wait, what? Hans. As there's the insect. Hans, flash for flash. Oh. The minions. And Zeus with the solo kill coming through. And Owner doesn't know how to drive, so he's not connecting with these Skarner E's. Mickey gonna get rooted up still by Guma, but it is not enough. Oh my goodness. Zeus, a great play there. Bye. Oh my god, a great play. With that little barrel E into the turret. And Zeus is gonna really enjoy this. And oh, they really didn't. Okay. G2 still gonna get the early grubs. despite a decent chunk going on to Yike. That was on to Mickey. Never mind. It was worthless. Nah, but that outplay, Zeus, ooh, baby, on Sama. Get Gragas on, man. Not playing with the best Gragas skin though. I don't know if they actually can use it. That is the thing. I don't know if Music Fan is allowed because it just came. This would be an interesting dive with the wave that gets shredded. Not gonna happen. Broken Blade sees owner, and that's about all he's gonna see. Not gonna do much to try and stop the Drake from being taken. Caps. Pushing forwards, Caps doesn't have any mana, so he's gonna have to reset. Even if he wanted to help his team, can't. Okay. No first items yet. No crazy fed players here. We've seen some pretty fed guys throughout the past few days. Or I guess now the past 2 series. And none of them in this game, it seems. Sadly, none of them in this game. Yeah, chill laning phase. Couple kills, but now it's the calm, the normal. That is a giant lead on Gragas, actually. 14 CS with a kill. I did not notice it because holy cow, T1 have pretty big CS leads everywhere except for mid. Okay, and jungle, but that's just because they're clearing camp for camp. But 13 CS advantage in this bot lane, and that is 13 right now in the top lane. Or between the top laners, because they're not laning against each other anymore. And Zeus is just leaving. They saw him walk up through the river, so he's just gonna call it. They're just gonna give up on the play and just give up on the lane state, as still could just swap back if G2 want to, and they're not going to. They're gonna keep this swap going on. Broken Blade is not playing as aggressive as I thought he would into a Jhin. Jhin can't really stop you, and he doesn't have any backup to stop you right now. Mid lane coming out to be replaced. It is time for Guma to go to mid. He gets to farm safely in the mid lane now. As owner? No, he's not. They're not sending. Oh. Chunk down to about 1,000 health for Caps there. They're not going to try and dive Hansama here. They are trying to set up for Drake. I think they spot out owner, and owner does not know he's spotted out. Oh, twice as such. Broken Blade gonna get some turret plates. 2 turret platings for Broken Blade. It's a good day. And G2 have pretty much everyone here on this Void Grubs. They're just missing Broken Blade, who's currently fighting Zeus in the bot lane. Mites spawned in, and there's the combo coming out, but it's a 2-man impale, but they're going to get carried down. Is owner able to trade back one? He will, but he has to flash out. Hansama follows. Han's going to find that one in just one auto attack. He's going to get it. It's a double kill for owner. Faker continues to go forwards, but finally going to fall. It's a double for Hans, but Guma finds the answer kills, and it is a bloody play for the Grubs. It is a 3-for-3, and G2 are going to come out the winners of it. They got the mites. They got the mites on the Rift, and that is super valuable when you have a team like it's getting jumped on. Broken Blade as Broken Blade forced to flash in. Now here comes Faker. No ulti available, but just it's pretty much just going to be a lane reposition. And it is a good play by T1 to keep the pressure on. But this grub fight starts with the hook. They don't even use the dash yet. So he's actually allowed to dash onto Carrier. They didn't need to use the dash. They just threw the ball into the middle. And then Owner getting 2 of these kills is kind of tough. But Faker finding some numbers does not kill off. Just not in time to get Hansama. It is still 4-1 grub, so G2 still kind of just in a great position, as this is a lot committed for this turret. This is a... As Zeus? Okay. Mickey gonna back off. They're still gonna lose first turret here, and they just really wanted that turret down. It is them shredding this top tier 1. If they can start pressuring this top tier 2, I think this teleport will be easily worth it. They don't even need to kill it off. They just need to start it, as they kind of just accepted the bot side's gone, but they are risking a lot here as Mickey locked down. But Zeus is in there trying to stall for time. And Hans is so low. But the 4-shot not going to really bother Broken Blade here, as there's no way he got that route. And Faker continues to just get this push. He's going to get the tier 2. G2 get the kill. They get the tier 1 and a lot of the tier 2. But Faker's just going to get all the tier 2. Hunking out Mickey. So not going to get all of it. So for now, it is pretty close. But that is a perma pressure point now for T1. They could just keep hammering that one. And no chance that Owner is going to commit to that. He knows that his team has just gotten G2 to reset, as there's a nice stun onto Caps. Finally going to get it, but no follow-up. Guma's not here. Faker's in top lane. Just got to wait. Owner knows the resets are coming through for G2. No reason to force it. Owner going for this Rift Herald. Does G2 want to contest him on it? Even Faker. That is an impressive amount of damage for just a Rock Scorpion. Does Mickey have a kill? No. He has 5 takedowns. In plates. That's right. He did get that turret in top lane. That connected. Maybe they jump in onto Hans, but not going to happen. The ulti was good, though. T1 have seen G2 on these rotations as well. So they're pretty chilling. Because now here comes the entire team. If they can try and get it, they're going to get Broken Blade. And the combo connects. He's going to try and counter-strike. The Impale catches 2. It's going to be the turret falling. But can T1 find the kills? They're going to get another one for Owner. Broken Blade is going to follow here, as the drive doesn't connect. Gives the kill over to Faker. And it's a pretty good play there. 2-0. They only surrender the turret. And it's a tier 1. And that's not really that bad. They already got the tier 1 in bot lane. They're going to get the tier 2 on this play. And T1 are getting advantages. They're playing the fights well. And this is... It's pretty different. As area... As... Ooh, hits the ward. We'll at least be able to disengage entirely. It's something. And Zeus is just... He's just headbutting a turret. And now T1 have built a 2,000 gold lead for themselves. It is on the back of Hans' time for G2 to figure out how to play this game. Because this is a really good team fight for T1. Oh my god. That play. Yes. I mean, just so well played to get Broken Blade. Eventually. Then they get Mickey, which tends to be the case. You always usually sacrifice your tank support. And then Owner drives away. Just wants to make sure that Faker gets that kill. It is super important to start getting him fed, or to start getting him at least something. Because if he can get to 2 or 3 items, he's such a problem. Because right now he only has the Malignance. If you can get him, not Horizon Focus, because that doesn't apply it anymore on CC. I don't, yeah, it doesn't. It has not applied it for a while. But if you can get him, not a Rocket Belt either. I think he's going Ludens based on. No, he's not. What's he going? Aether Wisp and an alternator. Not quite sure. I've probably been building. I just have not been paying attention to my build paths recently. Whatever. T1 need to find a way into this pit. A yike in the zone. He's not going to find it, but there's a 2-man impale. Nice shockwave to come through and follow it up. They're going to find carry already. Faker teleporting in on this backline play, though. It's already a 1-for-1 support for support, but Faker's going to come in and take on Hansama, and that's going to turn the tides of this one pretty heavily. The charm not going to connect. And this Rift Herald coming down. Owner's going to make this real difficult for G2. Mid-turret goes down. It would be not good. And it is not good indeed. And now, T1, third Drake of the game for them. It is already soul point. They'll have about 23 minutes soul right now at this tempo. And it all starts with success. It starts with them jumping in onto Carrier, but good impale, and then they get in onto Guma. He's just able to walk away, and then look at where they're positioned. That cask forces G2 into T1's jungle, which makes it so hard for them to disengage. And Faker comes in on the wraparound play, so I believe that was not even Mickey who was the furthest forward player by definition. I don't know why that T1 was backwards, but it was. T1 have executed their comp to perfection. Zeus and Faker have been doing their job so well in keeping. I mean, everyone again is just trying to keep Goomba alive. It's just some of these members do a little more damage while doing it. Like Zeus, Faker, they do a little more damage while keeping Goomba alive at least. And Owner has been finding these impales. He hasn't been finding he hasn't been finding how to drive quite yet, but these impales have been clean. That flash impale for 2 was crucial in literally flipping the fight over. Hans is just farming up some stacks right now. At 119, it's just hard. They just keep focusing down Hansama. And you can see the win prob. I think win probability probably shouldn't be that high at the start of games. Or even just entering mid-late game. It's kind of high. It's a little bit of an exaggeration, but no, what? T1 apparently like 80+% chance to win this game. It's not even it's barely a 4K gold lead, if even a 4K gold lead. So I don't know, man. They are playing super clean right now. This is a pretty good game from T1 so far. But G2 still can pull this back. They are a single team fight away from getting this one as Broken Blade. Yep. You jump in onto Zeus, the belly or body slam, even though it's not that is a bit of a different definition of body slam. It's like Pokemon. Pokemon doesn't know what body slam means either. Like, it's very weird that no one knows what a body slam is. Because a body slam is picking your opponent up and throwing them on the floor. This is I don't even know what that would be described as. It's like a chest bump, but a one-sided chest bump. For Gragas. But terminology from a wrestling fan aside, It's not gonna matter as they're jumping in on to Guma, and they're gonna get the depth charge on him, and they're gonna shut him down. It's Hansama coming in, and the rest of T1 just already here to follow it up. They weren't even ready for this play quite yet, as Mickey doesn't get knocked in, but Carrier goes forward. Zeus gonna find the kill here. Hans cleanses the nothing, but he was just preparing in case it did connect. How was he supposed to know? It was barely gonna miss him. And G2 have found a fight onto T1. They just catch him off guard. Guma not at all in a safe position as Faker. Gonna need to just run away. Broken Blade should not be able to catch up to him. And now definitely will not. That is a real bad situation for G2 or for T1, as that is Hansama picking up the shutdown as well. So that is a cash out on top of a shutdown. And that's a lot of money for Hansama. And that's obviously gonna give him a ton of damage, and that is why they're picking this Draven. Picking the Draven, they think they could find an angle where they get a big advantage. And they're right. They can find an angle where they get a huge advantage because they catch out. Ooh, that is a Mortal Reminder finish. Not a bad rush here, or not a bad third item. We've been seeing a lot of it when the champ can't afford to actually build it, because there are some champions that just can't afford to build it. Like, Yone rarely can because he needs to build 2 other crit items. He can only build 2 crit items efficiently, and very stupid. But whatever, they're going to find the catch out onto Caps, but that's going to be Mickey getting hit by the Impale and the Charm, and he's going to fall here as there's the Shockwave. It's just going to delete Faker, but are they going to be able to find the rest of the fight, as that's a nothing whirling death, and Broken Blade is trying to keep hitting the stuns, but he's only hitting them onto Owner, and there's a nice root onto Yike by Guma, but the rest of the team's going to just disengage, and T1 are calling for the Drake. They're going to heal up Owner, and they're going to go for this objective. Zeus has no teleport, so he's going to have to run in here. But G2 have based Caps. Caps has teleport, on the other hand. And so it's very difficult for T1 to actually coordinate this team fight right now, as they have to pay attention to so many things. There's no jumping from some members, but here comes Zeus. There's the lockdown. I believe that was Yike from Carry, as he's forced to flee right now. The ulti coming up in 3 seconds for Zeus. Faker has ulti whenever he can make it into the fight, as that's going to be the Chemtech Drake coming in for T1. And can he find the body or the slam into the cask, as that's the hook coming in, and they're just gonna find Caps with the cask. Zeus kills off the G2 mid laner, and he's gonna give the kill over to Goom off of a nice root. It is a 2-0 with Drake Soul in tow for T1, and they are looking at the Baron. And they will start it up. There's no paranoia. There is no shockwave. The core combo that G2 have been playing around is eliminated. And that means T1 are pretty comfortable taking this, even with a really slow Baron take. Like, oh my goodness, this Baron take is, it's Jhin, it is Ari, as nice combo connecting. The curtains have opened. Mickey's just gonna die here, as Carry accidentally steals the kill with his W. He did not plan that one to happen. Is Faker trying to lock down Hansama, and the cask is here. The follow-up from Carrier, and Faker has killed off another member of G2, as Broken Blade cannot use the blast going to get to safety, but T1 thought they had a little more burst than they did, and he will still get out with the counter-strike, as Ace is going to start tanking this turret to keep the wave alive for as long as he can. And T1 are cruising in this one. They had about one bad fight, and it was just a single 1-kill catch out onto Guma, but otherwise it has been a pretty clean showing from the reigning world champs. Yeah, Korean 4 seed reigning world champs. Crazy. Absolutely crazy, as Carrier doesn't find Mickey, but Mickey doesn't find the escape. He's forced to flash. And Mickey, 7 deaths, my guy. He's lucky there's no which player will have the most deaths during the World Championships, like there is the... Oof. No, they're not going to go for it. Like, there is one for the most deaths of a champion. That'd be crazy as that Zeus getting locked down, but the cask is going to buy a little bit of time. But T1, their teleports not coordinated, but Zeus going to be able to survive here. And now the curtains have opened. G2 not tanky enough to survive them. And that means that that's going to be Mickey going down. The shockwave just going to delay the inevitable figure with a double kill now. Going forwards, flash, E, charm. It's a triple kill for the unkillable Demon King. And T1, it is gonna be over in game number 1. They are gonna move themselves to 1-0. They will be 1 win away from the knockout stage. And it wasn't looking good in the LCK. They're gonna get the suppress onto Broken Blade. Goomba gonna find that one. Cask knocks Yike into the Nexus. It's a kill for Zeus. Both of them go on killing sprees, and they are just toying with G2 here as the rivalry. It's looking lopsided in game number 1. It's Mickey huge shutdown right there. Got a pick, and the Nexus finally falls. T1 go up. T1-0. And 1 win to the knockout stage as they continue to chase history. Every time T1 makes Worlds, it is technically another moment in history. And it is a dominant showing. G2 got run around the rift in game number 1. G2 could not find foothold. T1 made sure that they were in control of the game, and they did wear the rings for the photo shoot. Okay. I don't know how many championship rings they've even done. I know they did one for last year, and they keep showing them off. But I don't know how many they've actually done. But they're making T1 wear them for the videos, at least. And it looks very nice, but whatever. T1, reigning world champs. They've had a bit of an iffy world championship so far. They did eke out that win against BLG, but to beat eternal rival G2 would be pretty good for them, all things considered. Would be a pretty smart play to punch their ticket to the knockout stage, which is exactly what they're looking to do as game 2 is on the horizon. And I will see you to see, or I will be with you to see G2 fight back or T1 finish the job and punch their ticket to their ninth consecutive knockout stage. I'll see you for game 2. And it is time, or almost time, for game number 2 between T1 and G2. T1 kind of just rolled over G2 in game 1. They didn't give them any opportunity. They gave them a 1 play. They had 1 catch out onto Gumayushi. That was their entire game, pretty much. That was like everything that happened for G2 in their favor. They got grubs. They went 3 for 3 at Void Grubs and got the 5-1 split. That's about. They had a 3-3 fight, or a 3 for 3 fight, and that got them that singular objective advantage. And that was about everything that happened for G2 that game. Because otherwise, T1 pretty much said, you're not getting to use your combo. They got to use their combo about 3 times. G2 were really not able to pull the trigger on any of the fights. And I don't know if it was they were scared or if they didn't like the angles they were getting. And whatever it is, that meant G2 were just unable to play because that's kind of their thing. They need to worry about that. Brand taken away from Yike. I believe he's played at this tournament. As they're going to go for it again. T1 have pretty much just found out there's no reason for them to worry about this combo. They could just play the Ahri lane again, and they're going to pick the Vi this time with the Skarner banned away. And they're not worried. They're legitimately unfazed that G2 are getting this Ahri combo again because they just have not, they did not execute it in game 1. And that's going to be Gnar for Broken Blade this time. No Jax. Someone pointed it out that it was pretty much just a GAM draft last game for G2. And they were right. That is a very GAM draft. Nocturne Jax and then Draven Nautilus. That is pretty much quintessential GAM. You could put anyone in the lane. You could have put anybody in the mid lane. It's just whatever. Are they going to call the Jax into this Gnar matchup here for Zeus? And they will. Jax has not won a lot. If you could see those numbers down there, Jax has done a lot of losing at the World Championships. Which is kind of crazy, honestly, because it doesn't feel like it sometimes. Like a champion, sometimes you get a champ that feels like they win way more than they lose. It's not even close to that case. Like it's not even close to. Oh my god, that apparently pulling a singular hair out of my ear gave me tinnitus. Ow, that hurt. Palm and Poppy taken away. It's another game of just take out the support in bot lane. Take out the supports and ADCs, and you are chilling. And it's going to be the Rel taken away from Mickey here. Tinnitus is bomb. But we chug along. Are they going to ban an ADC? It's just Kalista this game so far. It is 4 support bans already. Is G2 going to make it 5? They're going to get rid of the Xayah again with this dive comp. They still don't want to face off against that anti-dive champion. And now Kai'Sa available for T1 if they want it, but I don't know what they want, honestly. They can go a lot of things. T1 are... Guma Keria are probably the most flexible bot lane in the history of League. And it's going to just be the Jhin repeat, and they're just going to save the support counter pick. But these two guys in this bot lane are some of the most comfortable on a wide breadth of champions. And it's kind of crazy. It stems from Keria's willingness to try whatever he wants in the bot lane, as that is a Kai'Sa locked in for G2, and they're just going to pair a Naut with it is the question. They could just go with Kai'Sa Nautilus and call it a day. I want to see what Keria whips out here, because Keria can go a couple weird shit. Like, we've seen over the course of time, Keria has played a lot of weird or odd support picks. Was the guy that brought in the Varus. I mean, he was a key contributor to the Ashe Varus lanes of 2 years ago. It will be the Nautilus Kai'Sa. Okay, good. And is it just going to be Leon again? I mean, it would not be surprising to see him just lock it in again. So this is them repeating, but Keria, oh man, I really do want to see them eventually get to play some of the weird stuff they love to play. Because where's Keria? Hold on. Keria. That says... like, Keria did not win on the Lily, on the Lee Sin, or the Shen, or the Zill, or the Sedge. Dude, he's like winless on a bunch of weird picks. Like, Scion, he played Pyke this year. Dude, this guy's been playing everything. Like, I freaking love this man in the bot lane. It sucks that we're not going to get it. G2, again, really good comp, but they need to execute. Last game, they had a good comp, but they never got to execute on their play. I need to see them commit. They need to be confident in their game. This is G2. I've never seen G2 be scared to play their game. In my entire time watching League Esports, in the entire history of G2, since before Caps was on the team, I've never seen this team scared to play their own game. Like, the fact T1 made them unable to play their own comp is insanity. The fact that any team scares them is kind of shocking to me, and they need to find out what the hell they're going to do, because it did not work out in game 1, and now you're on the verge of going to an elimination match once again. History repeats itself. Sorry, I was also just going to talk about Keria more, because I want to see more from this guy. Yes, I know he can play traditional supports very well, but there's just those weird one-off games, or every few games he'll play something he theory crafted in solo queue, and it's like, oh my god, this guy's a genius. Not gonna happen. And wishful thinking. Mickey needs to tone down the deaths. Like, I know Mickey is someone who I joke about dying a lot, first of all. Like, He dies a lot when he plays. He might be the deaths leader for the tournament. But 8 deaths in a game where the next highest is 5? He has to be most deaths, right? Oh, no, I don't have to do. I mean, what's his deaths per game? It has to be the highest. Mickey, 6 deaths per game. Most in the tournament. He has 24 already. Like, jeez, man. You got 24 deaths. Which is not most in the tournament. But that's just because he's only played 4 games so far. Say it's just gonna get aggressive on Broken Blade. They should be able to trade pretty aggressively. I mean, he has more deaths than some players with more games. The only players who are ahead of him in deaths also have 2 games more or 4 games more. Jeez, man. Broken Blade going to just continue to get jumped on here. Zeus has Counter-Strike, so he's kind of able to win. Broken Blade trading back pretty decently, but it is still a Jax lane, so not going to quite happen here. Faker doesn't start E, so he's actually able to farm a little bit better. His owner's here again. They're just going to keep trying to make Caps surrender a lot as he's forced to back off. And the Q going to connect there for Owner. Caps again, kind of just not afraid. He just knows that he doesn't need to worry. He can be pretty confident in that T1 aren't going to full commit to a very sketch play. This is pretty solid. Ooh, Caps flashing away. Baker has the ability to run. Owner's not here, though. Doesn't get it. Does go. Connects the tries to connect to the tether, but Owner is somewhere in this bot jungle. As, again, the connection onto Mickey for T1. They're just going to keep going for him. They just keep beating him up. Zeus again going to proc the grasp. Broken Blade's usually going to be able to proc it back in kind consistently. Is not. No, we'll look into that while we wait. Oh, we'll stay on the old for now. That's everything. And okay. Face edge. It is going to be taken, or these Raptors taken away. And just get a Q away to safety. Faker going to not be able to base. T1 continuing to get pushed in most lanes. The wave is bouncing back from Broken Blade. As the lockdown onto Mickey still there, and they're just gonna keep shredding him down. Ignite comes down. There's not quite enough damage, but now Hans. Ooh. Nice dodge there from Guma, Hansama, and Mickey. Very low. Yike is down here, but he's not able to do a ton quite yet. T1 just continuing to pick up small wins all around the map. Now switching up these lane assignments. But switching up the lane assignments. They want to contest these grubs pretty early, as we've seen G2 do pretty consistently. Everyone's here for G2. The hook connects to carry over the wall. I think it hit before carrier moved, so it's whatever. As Guma's here now, they don't have the ulti. Broken Blade has ulti, though, if they are not careful here. As they are locking down Owner, the hook not going to connect. Nice flash Q away. And that means that the engage for carry is there. They're locking down Mickey. Faker's ulti burned. There's not quite a lot of damage for T1 just yet. And that means that it is a pretty good position there for G2. They burn Flash on Owner. They burn Faker's ultimate. They burn Flash on Guma. They just get everything. They just get everything there. And 3 grubs is their reward. And small disadvantage in CS and top and bot lane, but they can easily claw this one back. We're going to continue to just push in this lane. They'll just leave it for Broken Blade to catch plating. Not even, it's full health. They're full health. I'm still hanging out in mid. Faker still laning into a Kaisa. I mean, this really... If they can get both Drakes, that's good. They can get both. That's actually kind of cool. Broken Blade going to go Mega here. If Zayus doesn't play respectfully, he could be getting comboed. He's just going to wait it out. Okay. The Owner going to actually grab this Drake here. T1. I was not expecting... I don't know. I just thought they were going to grab that earlier. But didn't have the position to do it. And we see double static shift rushes, both these champions. Really, really good at just building this item. It's pretty solid. That's his line. Sorry, I'm looking at Gnar stuff. Kind of crazy that Gnar is. Whatever. Eight CS advantage, 2 CS advantage for Broken Blade. I mean, it's 3 CS advantage for Faker. Not that oh. What's gonna be the first big team fight here? Is it gonna be over Grubs 2, like we saw last game? Because it is as they're gonna get the jump in onto Mickey here, and Mickey's just gonna get locked down. And there goes the mid laner of G2. He's just gonna waste time. It's first blood over to Owner. Very late first blood. And so now it's actually pretty T1 sided just off of that one play, because they're gonna be able to set up for this Drake pretty easily. As Broken Blade's just gonna proxy. Obviously, Zeus stuck under his third. What is he gonna do about it? Not face edge. As Ooh, dodge away and flashing into the waiting arms of Owner. Broken Blade gonna try and just stall out. Has the flash follow for Owner. And he can't dodge a point blank vault breaker. Owner, second kill of the game. And he's opening up this one. G2 still going to grab these Void Grubs, so it's not quite different. And I think Faker knows that something's going on here. As the hook just misses for Mickey. And the ulti not going to the charm not going to connect. And that means Faker's forced to flash away. Flash follow for Yike, but there's not enough damage to come in. He doesn't have the range, and now Owner's here to pick up another kill. And it's a killing spree for the jungler of T1. Oh my goodness. So close to happening, but it's not quite there. And now, matching the jump in, and T1 not going to keep the fight going. Okay. How does Faker survive? How? Okay, how does he live? Because he dodges this hook barely. And then Charm just misses. And, oh, Zeus getting jumped on there. And Broken Blade's going to pick up the kill. And it's a return kill eventually onto Zeus. As Harrier going to get the jump onto Broken Blade. Guma's here. They don't have Shockwave. It's a pretty, bad position for T1 to hang around, and if they do so, choose to, and they will just give over this turret. It will be first turret to G2, and that is something. That's the start. Zeus going to grab this turret in the top lane in exchange. Should be chilling here. And that's full platings to Zeus in the top lane now. So it's going to keep the gold lead at over 1,000 for T1. They keep going. Keep this one rolling, as it is ADC versus ADC with support hovers right now, actually. Both ADCs have their best friend here. And you can see the turret gold swing a little bit over 5. Actually, exactly 500. I forgot math. But 500 in favor of T1, and that is the last bit of gold pushing it over. And Drake available. Herald also available. Dude, T1 just give this over. They have all 5 dragons in this set, actually, this series. As Mickey, another missed hook there. Carrier dodging these. And it was the other guy dodging them earlier. Broken Blade getting the double lockdown. And there's Zeus picking up the kill onto Broken Blade. And they are making sure the prehistoric Yordle is staying down. And now it's going to be Drake for Herald. Simple Drake for Herald trade. Always just keeps it going. Drake Herald trade. As good as, not even good as time, just as tale as old as time. There you go. And dance as old as song. As Mickey's gonna get jumped on here, and he's just face checking, and Mickey down once again. 10th death of the series for him. And this means this mid turret going to get shredded right here. And I think they dropped Herald a little too early. Nope. Okay, perfect. As the root onto, or the stun onto Hans is not enough to lock him down. He's going to cleanse away. The Rift Herald's just driving into the base right now. Yike. Going to land the fear. The Shockwave connects onto Carrier and Zeus. But now Carrier has to go in way too deep. Doesn't have the flash to get out. It's going to be 2 for 1 in favor of in favor of G2. T1 still doing quite a bit of damage to the Nexus, or to just the regular turrets, not even Nexus turrets. But T1 still in the driver's seat of this game. And, ooh, good stun onto Hans. Don't quite get the damage. And then can't get to Hansama. And then Carrier just has to go in. Good shockwave there by Caps to just force the re-engage. Pretty good play from both sides. Okay. Itch. Not face itch. Knuckle crack. Different. Another tier 1 falling, and that is all of them off of the Rift now for G2. As they will at least match it by taking out the top tier 1 in top lane. But this is a 4-man in this bot lane. They want this turret gone. They want all of these turrets down. They don't have any damage to stomp them. And T1 get rid of this bot lane in a moment. Now a 3,000 gold advantage for T1 here. Caps not going to be able to answer back quite the same as teleport in. They've finally spotted him out. They have not spotted out Caps yet, and now they know. As there's the stun connecting, the paranoia comes in. The shockwave is flashed away from, and Faker going to pick up the kill with the Spirit Rush. And T1 continue to find the advantage against G2. And now it's over a 3,000 gold advantage by a little bit. And we should be coming up on second items for a lot of these damage carries. And Jacks, I guess. I don't know. What did Carry even get? Oh, no, that was W. I thought it was Celestial opposition popping. T1 in such a strong position. Now they are going to start pressuring? That's not a word. Threatening this tier 2 in the mid lane. They're starting to threaten that they're going to get the second Drake, which isn't... Actually, no, that's a pretty big threat. Like, that's a pretty big threat there, actually. Never mind. Probably not a good thing. Breakup in 4. T1 have surrendered some control here, but they're going to get the jump in. But there's the jump in onto Guma in response. But they've already gotten Broken Blade down to no health. Mickey, nothing you can do about it. As the bullets are flying out, but no one's in range. Just going to use it to farm the minions at the end there. And if G2 want to re-engage this, they are just going to pay a hefty price to do so. It's not going to happen. And Guma positions so far back, it is impossible. It's just impossible to get onto him without diving him, basically. As... Okay. They're going to do a little bit of a switcheroo. And it will be a 2-1 Drake lead for T1 now. This is a T1. This is T1 playing like we haven't seen them play in quite a while. It's been a little bit since we've seen them. There's a and this is 2-item Jin, kind of a problem, but working towards IE. I don't see him working towards a mortal, which we sometimes see as 3rd item for crit builds. Not quite the case. Storm Surge for Faker. Is this unnerfed Storm Surge? Or unbuffed Storm Surge, I should say. Maybe? It might be. Could be. I don't know actually if it's unnerfed. I guess I can check that. That's what I can do. I can do that. Storm Surge. There's a lot of things with the word storm in it, apparently. The nerf or the buff. No, this is buffed. This is 25%. They'll lose their top turret. Faker teleporting in unspotted right now. But here comes the rest of G2. And they're going to jump in, finally, on to Guma. That's a 2-man shockwave coming in, but they've gotten the rest. They've abandoned. Yike has just left his team to die. And that means Faker's going to go forward. Hansama going to find one, but there he goes. He's down. Can Faker clean up the fight? It is just him versus the rest of G2. And he doesn't have it. He's going to have to leave. G2 find the fight. And they are going to get a 4 for 2. And they are hunting for Faker. It's not going to happen, though. Going to be tier 1 in mid going down. Broken Blade wants to find it, not going to get it. And G2 have found an advantage. And how they don't... Oh, Caps goes golden, nice. And eventually going to get the jump here on to Guma and buy that's the core damage carry down. And then they can't really do anything. They're trying to get Caps. But by the time they jump onto Caps, look at the health bars. Hans is so strong. And then the lockdown onto Faker is crucial because that means Broken Blade has so much time to focus fire him that Faker has to disengage. He can't try to re-engage if he wanted to. And that is brutal as the shockwave pulls back Faker. It's a shutdown for Hansama. They're going to find Hansama, though, in response. Are T1 going to keep this going here? Guma is still in a pretty good position, but now Owner not so much. Carry is way too far forwards right now, and he's going to have to go in or die, and he will die on top of it. And G2 are finding the comeback now. This is not going well. This is not happening quite well. T1 are letting this one slip. If G2 were concerned at the start of the game and game 1 with the combo they're executing, they are no longer worried about T1 pulling back these fights that they engage anymore because they are finding them so well. Shockwave catches out Faker, and it would have just been a 1-for-0 had that Shockwave missed. Had Caps executed it poorly, but he is just it's so clean. It's just so difficult now for T1 to find these fights if they intend to play them this way because Guma's going to get jumped on now every single time. They can execute the play pretty easily and consistently. It's still in favor of T1. But G2 are starting to claw this one back, and it is starting to get a little bit out of hand for T1 right now. Charm connects, the root going to follow it up, and there's the stun coming through, but they gotta wait for Guma to go down, and that means that Zeus is just gonna get shredded. Shockwave finds two. Mickey gonna be traded, though, and that's onto the GA Vi, and they're finally gonna take down Owner. Broken Blade lands a nice stun. Owner going forwards. Do they have the damage they need to land it onto Yike? They're not going to get it. Broken Blade finds one more. Carrier, Guma. Can they do the thing that they have been doing for the past 2 years? They cannot. And it's Sterix out. Broken Blade going to land the slow. And it's going to be an ace for G2. And they're going to go for the Baron here. They think they could do it. And they are pulling this game back, and it's dead even, and it's going to be a lead for G2 for the first time this series. And can they do this? No. Okay. I was like, that's a low health bar with a 0 lifesteal. Okay, now they have the Gnar here, so Gnar can tank up the main damage, and Yike should be getting health back through his jungle pet. Hans will not take a ton of damage, and that means finally it's going to be the Baron for G2, and this crowd is fully behind them. They want to see this go to 3. They want to see G2 pull out the win. And he's way too deep here. He needs to kind of wait. They need to get this paranoia out way earlier. And just right where Owner wants to go, and there's just not enough damage now. This ulti from Broken Blade is huge. They can't get onto Hans. They can't get onto Yike. And it just makes it so difficult to play with Broken Blade online, active, able to just make a mess of G2, to make a mess of T1's plans. And Faker just getting chunked down now. That is a pretty scary Kaisa. Just look at the damage this champ can output. This is what a fair champion does. And that's already the first turret falling. Can T1 find an angle? No, they can't find a fight. G2 are just going to get this inhibitor, and they're going to start having access to these Nexus turrets. And this has gone from what seemed like another clean T1 victory to G2 are fully in control. What the how? I just don't even know. I really don't know how this has happened, but they've done it. This should be this turret eventually going down. That's a double cannon wave, and T1 are just unable to contest G2. Right? How the hell does he land these? But still, not gonna matter. It's just a small root. And 30 seconds still on the Baron buff. It is a 4,000 gold swing almost for G2. As that is pretty much their entire gold lead. $230 till this off as that, or until Drake comes up, and that's going to be good for T1 if they can actually contest it, because it's just going to give a lot more bulk to their champions, including that shield. I don't remember if it gives, oh, it does not. As not going to get the jump in. Nikki? Blade doesn't connect. Broken Blade not quite able to make it in time. As G2 just going to shred this turret in the bot lane. They don't get the jump onto Hans Sama as the Gnar going to connect onto Owner, but Zeus in the back lines here. Hans gone. Forced to go golden at the worst possible time as he's going to be able to ulti away to safety, but that's going to be Mickey already down. Caps flash over the wall. Owner not able to flash follow. He just misses it, but it's already a 1-0. I believe Mickey has survived for a little bit longer, but they're going to find Hans Sama. They're chasing down Mickey. So Portal Combat, is it going to come to fruition? Don't ruin this, Faker. It's sacred. No, it's not going to happen. T1 will just let a carry pick up the damage here to finish off Mickey. This is taking way too long. And they're just going to toy with him a little bit more. And they're just really going to do whatever they want. Mickey falls to the minions, and it is a huge pullback fight for T1. And just so absurd. The fact that they have pulled this back after G2 pulled this back. And they finally get the angle for Zeus to become active in this game. And they burn Gnarlty. I don't know why Brokenblade's trying to focus down a GA champion right now. In a position where they would have to dive him, but they are. And then Caps, oops. A little bit of an oopsies from Owner there, but T1's still firmly in control. Great flash E from Zeus. As you can see, T1 starting up this Drake in the live cam, and this would be Drake's soul for them. This would be a giant buff, to say the least, as Paranoia goes down, but that's the smite coming through, and the auto coming through from Guma, but Zeus all alone. The stun connects, but Zeus is nowhere near his teammates. He is going to fall. He is going to be the first member to fall in this fight. Hans Sama picks up the shutdown onto the Jax. And can G2 keep it going? T1 need to fight 4v5 right now. They have a half extra health bar for Owner, but that's an inhib down, and this is going to be another inhib going down. And despite the Drake's ult going in their favor, they lose their Jax, and they're going to lose all their inhibitors. Top will respawn. Okay, top just respawn now, so they have that going for them. And Zeus just mispositioning there to close that one out and gets caught again. And opening the curtains already. They're just going to start firing these in. Owner steals the Baron. Are you kidding me? T1 gives his life for the cause. And T1 at the World Championships. It is just too easy for them. T1 again. This team keeps doing it. It's going to cost them their jungle for 40 seconds. They have a lot of pushing power still on the side of G2. So T1, it is a pretty big give in exchange for the Baron buff. But it is still a Baron buff. As Faker goes in, double shockwave, connects, Zeus goes in, but the Gnar isn't going to find enough of anybody, and that's going to be Caps going down to Zeus already, and the Gnar gets charmed up, going forwards, Zeus finds Mickey, it's a double kill, Faker going to pick up one of his own, Yike trying to flee, he'll find Carrier, going golden is Zeus on Hans Sama, and he's just going to let Hans run away. Does Guma have the numbers? Can't chase them down quite yet. And G2 get the inhib, but T1 find the Baron, then they find the fight that follows, and they are just keeping things going in this game too. This is a narrow margin to be winning and losing these fights for both sides. I mean, these fights pretty decisively in T1's favor recently. But it is G2 still with the base shredded. No smite coming through from Yike there. And T1 stealing a Baron at the World Championships. Call it just another day at the office. And The shockwave is so good, but there's nothing to hit Faker. There's nothing to hit Carrier to follow it up. And then Zeus is just jumping. Doesn't get Hansama, has to go golden. He dies there if he doesn't. And G2 had such a good position, and it is falling apart right now. As Faker is just having to shred waves. 10-stack Darkseal. I don't know if he's going to go Mage Eyes quite yet. He wants to see how it goes beforehand. As T1 continue to just clear out these waves. There's a long defense here. Still a minute on a minute and a half on the earliest inhib respawn. And these are pretty staggered, actually, as it's 2 within the next minute and a half, but another one for 2 minutes 40. So T1 have a long time before they're going to be free from their base. No GA quite yet for Owner, so they do have to be careful there. As Mickey going to tank the charm for his team, going to get rooted up. It's not that big of a deal. He's Nautilus. He's fine. As these waves are going to continue to spread T1 thin. Faker needs to answer this entire wave by himself in the top side right now. He's going to have Broken Blade coming over to him. That's a lot of damage. Like, that is so much damage. But they're going to finally be onto the Nexus turrets with the first waves getting there. T1 keep this going. Keep the defense alive. 30 seconds. The last super wave is here. It will be also on the next fight as the jump in onto Mickey as Zeus. Or that's Faker jumping in. He's going to get thrown away with the Gnar. And T1 have not found anything. The ulti from Guma just there to zone. And the teleport, honestly, not that big of a deal. It's a good way to get a wraparound to draw pressure away from the base, and the supers are starting to just not be here anymore. It's only the top wave they have to worry about now. T1 are doing pretty good. Doing pretty well for themselves, given the circumstances they were just in. I mean, they got a Baron, yeah. T1 get engaged on here. And that's going to force the flash out of Owner right there. But can they get any vision? That's not going to connect, as there's the unstoppable onto Caps, and Caps already gone. Yike. They can't really jump onto him quite yet. Hansama gonna go down to the flash E of Zeus. Killing spree for the top lane of T1 as the Elder is started by the world champs. And they're showing their world champ difference right now to G2. And Guma gonna start playing bodyguard. It's on Yike to get this. He doesn't have the paranoia, and Guma is just gonna make sure he's not stopping this one. Has the flash to get in the pit, though. Can he do it again? No, he's not gonna pay the favor. Back to T1. And it is going to be a double buffed T1 as they're going for the Baron right now. And there's just no chance. There's no vision for G2. There's one ward. It's gone. And that means that T1 don't have to worry about a paranoia coming in. Don't have to worry about the Nocturne flying in and stealing something away. And now the gold lead, 9,000 in T1's favor, but gold difference means piss all right now. It means jack diddly nothing. And this starts with them chunking down Owner, and it looks so good. But where does the fight go wrong? Right there. No stun connects, but they're able to get it on Caps, and he's gone. He's just immediately gone. And then the next jump in onto Hansama, and they make sure that the 2 damage carries are not on the Rift for G2. They take no chances. And now double buff T1. You can see the gold diff, 9K. Well, now down to 8,000. And everyone's full build, so no one cares. Like, that is a full build Kaisa. That is a full build Jin. Full build Jax. Pretty much full build Vi. I think one item short on Yike and Caps right now. Full build Ari. So it's just gold means nothing. Both of these teams are going to blow each other up. We're at the 40-minute mark now, so there's not really a danger as T1 continue to position aggressively. They have all 3 buffs, actually. They are triple buffed up, as that's the stun connecting onto Mickey, and that's the engage going through onto Caps. Caps is gone. That's going to be the GA popped, but it's already Mickey down. It's already 3 members of G2 running away. It's a double for Zeus. It's gonna be the base for T1, and for the 9th time in a row, T1 are going to the knockout stage at the World Championships. And history continues to be made. 9 appearances at Worlds. It's going to be 9 consecutive top 8s. It is the most of any team. It is the most consecutive of any team. And they're looking to make it 9 straight top 4 finishes at the World Championships. That is the goal for T1, as they have officially extended their streak once again. And it continues to be T1 sided. The World Championships. It's just too easy for them, man. Too damn easy for this team. 9th trip to the World Championships, 9th time to the quarterfinals. They're looking for their 9th top 4 coming up, as you know all the narratives already. Best team in the world, Faker, the most decorated player in League of Legends history, SKT / just regular T1, the most decorated organization with that player, and they are, I mean, it's just, what is it? This is their, I mean, obviously they're 9th, but I'm thinking of, what are they? They're on back-to-back. It's like this team just, it's so expected with them to just be this good. They're on back-to-back top 4 finishes right now, or top 2 finishes. Of all those top 4 finishes, 2 of them were semifinals losses. Like, just, what are you supposed to do against this team? They are on the hunt for history, or extending the history that already exists, as 9 top 8s, 9 top 4s. They're looking for their 8th. No, not their 8th. They're looking for their 7th top 2 this year. It is unfair to face this team, and G2 just learned full force what that meant, as they thought they had the advantage. They thought they had an advantage for so long. T1 started with Steel in the Baron. They cover the base in back-to-back fights, and they keep pressuring until they win a fight before the Elder. Like, it looks so bad for T1. Zeus looked like he was so lost, and it just didn't even matter. He was so damn clean. I don't care. Sorry. But just so damn clean to close out that game. They found the carries repeatedly over and over and over and over again. They left Caps and Hans, they couldn't really cover them anymore. Broken Blade, nowhere to be seen in the Elder fight, and that made it a 4v4, a 4v5 that T1 were more than willing to take. And now T1 3-1. G2 will join Deep Kia and FlyQuest in the 2-2 pool. And again, at the 2-2 pool, if you remember last year, they lost to Bilibili. I believe it was Bilibili. And obviously, you know where T1 went from last year after making it out 3-1 in the group, or in the Swiss stage. Yeah, it was Bilibili Gaming who knocked them out last year in the 5th round of the Swiss stage. And, oh yeah, it's 20 years of T1. So happy 20th year of SKT, from StarCraft 2 to League and Valorant. They are just crushing the opposition, even though they weren't even the best they weren't even the best telecom based esports organization in SC2. That was, or in SC Brood War, sorry. That would be KT Rolster. But no telecom wars here. We had the telecom war in the regional finals, actually, and that was a blast. And from one loss away from missing the World Championships. Top 8. This team is inevitable. Call them Thanos. And another inevitability is Bilibili Gaming taking on PSG Talon. We do it again. It happened at MSI. It was a 3-2, somehow a narrow loss for PSG Talon, which is not a sentence you usually should say with the #1 team in China. May I remind you, the #1 team in the LPL playing on home soil, and they almost lost to the team that they are not legally allowed to acknowledge as its own country representative. But PSG Talon look to finish what they started at MSI, continue the run for Maple, the final dance. Will it continue, or will BLG redeem themselves, as they need to really step up? They are supposed to be the bright shining torch of the LPL as they rolled both of the splits, but who knows? Can PSG do the impossible? We'll see, as it is Bilibili Gaming versus PSG Talon up next to close out day 7. It is time. PSG, let's do this thing. Bilibili Gaming take on PSG Talon in the final series of day 7. And interesting choice. We're just gonna get it out the way early. They BLG have subbed out Wei for Jun in this one. If you remember, Jun came in for summer split, or I guess I can't say if you remember. Not everyone watches LPL. It's, there's a lot actually that goes in, but Jun played the spring season, was there for MSI for Bilibili Gaming, and then entering the summer season, they at some point subbed him out in the middle of the split for Wei. And that was the big turning point. A lot of people have agreed it's the big turning point for BLG in the season, where they went from they lost to LNG with Jun. That was their turning point. After the loss to LNG, I believe week 3 of the summer season. I'm going to just check. Or not, yeah, I mean, it was week 3. But after their third match of the season, they went 2-0 to start. And then lost to LNG. They signed Wei, put him in, and there's been the turning point ever since. But with Wei being the start of the entire summer, I mean, for the last 4 games of the summer season, the rest of the playoffs, and so far at Worlds, it hasn't worked out. They're 1-2, obviously, so they want to try something else, and that means they're putting Jun back in. He was there for the 3-2 against PSG Talon at MSI, and I think they do need a change-up. This is a team that is struggling right now, and the last time they did a jungle change, the shakeup saved, just reinvigorated the entire season. It pretty much ensured that they were going to, be the best team in China once again. And I guess it's time for another one, as you can see Knight's Ari taken away from him, but that is Aja's Rumble and Junja's Vi taken away. Very crucial champions in the ethos of PSG Talon. These are the champions that PSG Talon play. Junja is a freakishly good player on also the Skarner and the Vi, but Skarner, I believe, ended up being one of his most played of the playoffs, because so often Vi, Valkai, and Sedge are not usually allowed to be played by PSG Talon. Junja is the best jungler in the APAC, is widely agreed to be the best jungler in the combined PCS right now. And, well, that means you get a lot of target bans, and that means you get a lot of things taken away from you. Jun going to lose the Nocturne, though. And that is an interesting angle here, to say the least. Aurora's available as well, and that should just be instantly locked in, right? Yone's available. Oh, shoot. Wait, there's 2 champs that you really should not be letting through. Because here's the thing. PSG, I mean, they'll be happy with whatever they get, but I feel like BLG are making a mistake going for the Aurora. I feel like they could have went for the Yone. Because Yone's still on the table here. Neither side choosing to ban it out, instead going for some target bans on their opponents and Gnar. I don't know, man. That one's a weird one, but this should mean PSG Talon get the Yone here for Maple, but it did not happen last time. If I am not mistaken, the Yone did not work for PSG the last time they played it. They played it against FlyQuest and no, they did not. Okay. That was the Ari game? That was a good Ari. Man, Maple's been having a damn good freaking season. But Yone's just insta-lock. Sejuani going to be the follow-up. They blew it on Yone at one point. I know that. Right? Nope. Maple 1-0. Beat up Frescowi. Ran him for his J's, apparently. Took his foams. Stole his weave. Like, snatched his weave. Damn. Maple undefeated on Yone 1-0. It's going to be the Jax locked in for Bin here. That is pretty comfortable champion for him. This does mean it's going to be a... Oh, face itch, apparently. That's what that means. But this is going to be... Oh, I'm thinking of Gam, that's why. But this is going to be the Aurora for Knight. And what is the angle here? Does Jun want the Wukong? We haven't seen a ton of Wukong. 12 games of it is not terrible, but... If you remember, that is a very MS, like, this is what Jun played at MSI. Yes, they're still kind of playing it, but it's mostly a couple other teams that aren't, I don't think BLG's even picked the Wukong at Worlds. Poppy would be a pretty good pick here. They can flex it around if they want, but they're gonna, ooh, that is cannon locked in. Oh, baby, let's go. Let's ride. Let's ride. Why not? Screw it. Let's go. We got nothing to lose here. Kennen going to be the lock-in for Aja. This means it's going to be the Maple versus Maple versus Knight on the Aurora and the Yone. It is okay. It's 1-2 on the main stage. Levi's picked it twice. Owners picked it once. Levi's 1-1 picked it twice against the Mad Lions. And Owner opened the round or opened the Swiss stage with it. It is not doing well on the main stage. It did rather well on the, of course, play-in stage, going, what, 9, or going 5-3 then? 5-4. Yeah, 6-6. Okay. So 5-4 on the play-in stage. Not much of a difference. This champ has been pretty low prio throughout the entire tournament. Where was the Kennen game? Where the hell was the Kennen game? Because that was main stage. Kiaya versus Mad Lions. Dude, the Mad Lions lose to all the weird stuff. As Rakan taken away from On here, they want the support counter pick, so they can't give that over. Especially with the comp they're showing. Actually, if they land a pretty good Cyclone or Between Worlds, that just means that the Rakan is enabled. And they're going to give Rel for Woody. Woody is still his most played of the season, by far. I'm not even, like... I'm so confident in that so many people have Rel as their most played on the season. 1 game short, it's Leona. By 1. Damn. But still, I need to snipe some of these, actually. I should go snipe those pictures. Anyways, that's an unrelated thought. Not that PSG one. That PSG logo is so... Sorry, I'm complaining about Leaguepedia formatting. Because that PSG logo is so ugly, bro. They use, like, the worst version of it. Whatever. This is a team fight comp for both sides, so this should be Bilibili locking. It could be the Misfortune. I'm assuming they're going to just lock in the support first because they know what they want to play on the support. They're buying a little bit of time for their ADC lock-in. They could really go Misfortune here. They showed Misfortune. They can still lock this in pretty consistently. I don't know what PSG are going to go for ADC. They should not go Jhin. I'll give you that much info. Jhin is not really the angle. Double AP comp. They should take the Misfortune. Both of these teams should take the Misfortune, and it will be. Okay. I was going to say, if PSG don't go Misfortune, they're kind of inting. This is like the worst match ever for me, because I have BLG on my pick'ems, and I don't care about my pick'ems as much as I care about PSG Talon. I stand by that. I don't care about my pick'ems as much as I care about this team. I love PSG Talon, man. I don't know if I love the Ziggs pick here. Ezreal for Betty. Oh, baby. Let's go. Man, this guy is so good. This Betty guy is going to be damn good. I freaking cannot wait for this. This is just going to be, I hope it's a violent match. Like, BLG PSG was a barn burner at MSI. Like, this Oh my god. At MSI, barn burner. Definition of just burn it down. That was the first round of the bracket, too. Like, it was. Okay, we did lose the best of 3. But, I mean, very bloody games when PSG Talon were winning. Bilibili also did just kind of beat the mess out of them in 2 of the games in the series opener and closer, but we'll see if this team has improved. I think this meta is a lot more favorable to PSG Talon. It's not an enchanter meta, it's an engage meta, which is really good for Woody. Like, Woody's best engage champion is, like, what? He's not even that good at Kench, so it's not that. It's not Kench. As like his best engaged champions are, or his best enchanter is so uninteresting. And his best engaged champs are like Nautilus and Rel. And that just, this meta bodes a lot more well for PSG Talon. Not specifically. I don't know what, it's been engaged meta all split. So I have no clue what's going on. Both of these teams have been playing, a lot of teams have been playing like pretty much just engage comps, obviously, because that's what's winning games right now. But BLG, I don't know what the fall off has been for this team, but this is a surprising outcome that they are at the 1 and 2 bracket. For comparison, the other 1 seed, all the 1 seeds, besides Bilibili, Hanwha's in the Hanwha's already punched their ticket to knockouts. G2 and FlyQuest are 2 and 2 right now. G2 and FlyQuest went 2 and 1 even. So, what the hell happened to BLG? Is currently a bunch of teams that should not be on their level are outperforming them. Like, it is a what the hell are you doing situation right now for BLG. They should not be this low. This is definitely the lowest down a 1 seed has been in the tournament from one of the big 4, at least. Like, 1 and 2 is pretty bad. Haven't had a 1 seed go 0 and 2 yet, though. So we got to wait for that. I guess it'll be some random North American team next year. I can't imagine who else it would be. Nothing crazy. No lane swaps coming through either, meaning that we're going to have just normal League of Legends, man. That's kind of nuts. It's kind of nuts. We didn't even have any. Actually, we had 1 lane swap in game 1, and it didn't really make a difference. Did we have a lane swap? I think we had. I mean, we had several in like mid-game lane swaps, but I don't think we had a singular game lane swap, like starting the game on the lane. Because game 1 was, yeah, that was the Gragas game. No, they did not swap into the Gragas. As Woody not gonna land the engage, just a little short on that one. Didn't want to overcommit, but PSG have surrendered. Okay, not level 2. They did not surrender the game. No, there's no remake. I don't even think, yeah, you can't remake a custom game, I believe. No time to learn, though. Maple dodges away from the weirding, and that just does allow him to go in, get a little bit more damage. Those double ups are going to hurt so much. Are they called double? I don't even know what they're actually called. Because I know either the Eternal or the ability is called double up. And Maple just going to get a nice little trade onto Knight. Knight going to trade it back in kind. That is the advantage of this range matchup. With a 3-hit passive, I don't know why Aurora is a 3-hit passive. It does encourage comboing, but it's just kind of weird. As Aja, I think he landed the auto there. Bin was a little late on dodging that, as he's going to land the special auto, the charged auto, as Aja's just going to walk forwards and ward out Bin. Doesn't want to let Bin reset here. Maple's not going to Q3 there, if anything. But Bin is just experiencing early Jax lane. He's experiencing early Jax lane into a champion that can combo pretty easily. So Bin's just going to have to play a little patient. Has it been that long? No, Bin's been to Worlds recently. No, it's been that long. But he's still trying to reclaim that very early success as Maple, getting a big trade onto Knight, but Knight just going to be able to trade it back in kind, of course. Like, still very good. Yeah, he was here last year. That's right. Of course. I mean, top 4 for both times. This would be a drastic fall off, not only for Bilibili, as they made semifinals last year, but a drastic fall off for Bin as well, as he's only made top 4 in his 2 appearances. So, BLG, what the heck is going on? Maple, it's gonna just... I think he hit the turret maybe once. It barely even matters. He has no AD right now. PSG down about a singular minion after this is all said and done. 2 minions said and done. As Aja gonna get jumped on by Bin here. Is forced to flash away. Could have landed the stun. I don't know if he had Q. Did he have the Q available? Because if he did, he just had a free stun there. Did he have W or Q? Because if he had either of those, that's a stun. Junja spotted out the engage, connects onto On. On gonna use the ability to flash E away to get him out, but that's gonna be the first blood going to Junja. And then double stunning up Jun, meaning he cannot continue to go forwards. And the health bars are so low for Bilibili Gaming. PSG Talon find a nice play. BLG almost answer it back very well as on top of it. Like, that was a close win for PSG, if you really even want to call it that. Is just gonna go for a Q. Would not have killed. He doesn't have Sheen. Did not have the health for it. 100% doesn't have the damage for it. He has a Doran's Blade. As Maple gonna get the across the veil out of Knight right there. And Aja is level 6. Been a couple minions off right now, so has that just big threat right now. As Woody jumping forwards, has the crash down, but no flashes. The jump in onto Knight. He's going to continue chasing, and that's going to be the Between Worlds in exchange for the Fate Sealed. Both of those are pretty long CDs, so we're not going to be seeing either of those ultis for quite some time. We're not going to be seeing those for a bit. As Junja gonna just start these grubs up, cancel all of them as Sejuani. But look at the pressure G2, or God, I've casted too much G2 and I've casted 2 games of them, which is unfair to T1 because like that was a good series. But PSG drawing pressure or creating advantage on all sides of the map right now. Okay, maybe not bot lane, but they have push on mid. They just got push on mid, and they've had push on top lane for quite some time. As that is a giant wave. This should be a plating over to BLG at least. As Elk gonna get a bit of a chunk down, but oh, just missing the plating. He didn't auto it. Oh, Knight. I thought that was a different player. Sorry, I did not look at the picture. I was looking at the accolades, and I was like, huh? As there's a jump in onto On. I love casting On just because of that. It just sounds silly, but fine. This is a really strong position for PSG. I don't think they can get the Drake quite yet. They don't have the damage, and they don't know where Jun is positioned at the moment. Maple is just going to be able to do these Yone things, just get a shield and survive all the poke of Knight. It's not that big of a shield yet. It's a nice shield. It blocks some poke, but it's not going to be giant, as they haven't spotted out Jun. This could be really dangerous for PSG if they don't read the room properly, as the jump in onto On is not really there, and this means On's going to get locked down. That's going to be the kill going over to Betty, and On way too aggressive and out of sync with the team. Jun could not go forwards. He found Junja. They were really preparing for it, but there's Elk. No cleanse available. He's going to survive on 1. The bullet time comes out, but it's not going to find anything yet. There's the second cyclone coming out from Jun. He's going to find Junja. Can he keep this going? He has so much damage available to him, but he's getting stunned. Betty finds a second kill, and it is PSG Talon finding the fights on Bilibili Gaming. And they don't want to go home just yet, they're saying. The ride isn't over. But it is so close always now. It is a looming threat. But this starts with On. Where the heck are you going? Look where your team is positioned, man. Jun is fighting in a jungle 1v1. Jun's in a jungle 1v1 with Junja to see who's going to get first entry into the lane. Why are you engaging here? And then 1 damage. Betty actually doesn't quite have the damage yet. And ticks of health. And then they're obviously not going to go for this kill here. But very Woody is so good on this rel. Just knows exactly when his spell rotations are. And that was good fight from both sides because Bilibili so close to turning that in their favor fully and getting the 2 kills. And getting a double for Jun, even if it's not on, like, obviously you want the kills to go into Betty, but a double for Jun on a carry, on a champ like Wukong is huge because it opens up your itemization really quickly. Because getting that early Drake, or not early Drake, but getting that early item on a champ like Wukong is just really powerful. I mean, obviously on any champ it's powerful, but someone who's going, I believe that's a Sundered Sky start, and a champ that can build something that builds Cleaver and like Sterax, and can build Maw if needed, but it's not going to be needed this game. It's really just for Aja. You could probably just go some weird item that gives MR, but first Drake goes, or is in the process of going down. It's going to be on Knight to steal it if Knight goes for it. Not going to happen. Knight going to have Junja follow here as Betty is all alone in the bot lane right now. So the stun going to connect. True Shot Barrage forces out the flash though, and that is a huge win. Another big win for PSG Talon. In this bot lane particularly, Junja has been so active this game. Guy's been busy. In the Knight, just letting this wave die. Doesn't have much of a choice as there's 2 tanks, 2 engaged champions for PSG just sitting in the lane. Is Junja going to take his base here? And that is 3 platings for PSG on that 1 play. And it's now a 2,500 gold lead for them. Jun going to be able to trade back these Avoid Grubs at least. It's a delayed Drake Grubs trade if you consider the fact that the Drake was taken a minute ago. And yeah, there's no way for me to make this into a Grubs Drake trade because it is a second set of Grubs for the first dragon and a kill. Maple not spotting out on there. I don't think On has quite much of anything to lock him down. It's just Elk doesn't have the damage. And yeah, no, that 2v1 goes very south for them. He hits the solar flare and it gets buffered by Maple. It's over. The fight ends. On just doesn't get to do anything and Elk dies. But Maple also doesn't want to take the fight. He doesn't have anything there. So it is a both sides just want to forget about it as this is not going to be a plating. Betty doesn't have quite the idea to let it die or doesn't have a reason to let it die as the teleport is unspotted. It's just going to be Maple. They haven't spotted out anybody, but On and Jun are suspicious. And finally, they have a reason to be because PSG are running into their jungle right now. And Elk is here. If they could get a big ulti from On and Jun, this could be very bad for PSG Talon as there's the engage. There's the bullet time. Junja gets out, but Woody falls. And now Knight comes in, and Junja will fall on top of it. The fate sealed is not the fate you thought it was sealing. Triple kill for Elk. And Bilibili Gaming find an amazing punish there. An incredible punish on PSG Talon. They were so confident, but the play just falls apart for them. And PSG throw the lead away, and it's Bilibili in such a good position as Aja just gonna ulti right now. Bin has a little bit of MR, but he does not have enough. That is a lot of damage coming out, but if Jun is spotted, Aja will be able to just walk away here. But it is a rough matchup for Bin right now, and the fact that he is he's working on it. Aja, they know. They know, and Bin is here. They have the army coming in. This is going to be good night, Aja. As there's the lockdown. He overcommits to the play, and Knight's going to pick up his first kill of the game, and BLG have pulled this one back. And the goal dead even. These ADCs are really fed. I'm just going to put it out there. These ADCs are a little fed. It's still a huge lead for the Cannon, not the Gnar. Sorry, I've been thinking about Gnar too much. But it's not really that valuable This is going to be BLG racing Maple right now for first turret. I think they win this by a lot. They win by a lot here. This should be first turret for Bilibili, and it will be, yeah, by quite a bit. Will at least be responded in kind, so it's only a 300 gold advantage, but now PSG have quite the disadvantage in this position. As red buff stolen away, they should also lose out on this Rift Herald on top of it. And Drake isn't up right now. They can't trade it. This is not tradable. Aja has ulti, or is about to have ulti. So they can threaten pretty aggressively here. As this is a stalemate at the moment. If Jeune wants to come in here, this would be a very risky play now that Aja's been spotted out. And they know that this Kennen has ulti, and they don't want to stare down a very dangerous combo. Is Aja just going to teleport to the bot side here? Is Jinja not going to even be able to smite? Doesn't have it. Knight could have stole, or not Knight, Jun could have stole this, but face checking this play, not the best of ideas that we've ever seen a team have, or wouldn't be the best idea we've ever seen a team have. As Ginger's just going to steal away some camp, singular, as Maple should be able to finish off this top tier 1 pretty easily by himself. And Knight just going to have to let a lot of these minions die. They're just, I mean, they're assuming properly that PSG are hiding out in the top side, but they are just saying PSG are somewhere around here. They have some people, we have not spotted Woody or Junja in the past, like 30, 40 seconds. There is no reason for us to face check and assume they aren't in there. As stun connects onto the clone, very well played by Aja. Just take no chances. Wukong's, that is a thing a lot of Wukong players do. They'll stop, not just stop moving. They will input a stop command because your clone does just that. Like it basically looks like the stop command. So it is a trick a lot of people use to try and bait people into running away from you. Because if you if they disengage or just assume it's a clone, after a second you can just you can just actually use it and walk away, because it's mind games. Sometimes it works. Usually it doesn't. Most people hit the clone at least a couple times. Holy cow, Maple just got shredded by Knight right there. As On is here, yeah, that's not really threatening. Unless the Between Worlds connects. Nice use of the Fate sealed by Maple to jump the wall. I forgot that Maple, or there is no tier 1 right now, so that's my bad. With the numbers spotted in the top lane, PSG will grab the second Drake of the game. It's something at least to put pressure on BLG. How are they up 1,000? Farm. And second turret. That's right, they did get a second turret on top of it, so they have a little more gold than BLG in just standing gold right now. But that is something to threaten Bilibili with at some point. They have the advantage on the Drake, so if they can find a third one, that is pressure that BLG have to answer to eventually. Ooh. And I mean, both of these teams want to just get their opponents caught so badly. Just a big ball and catch your opponents out. It's going to be very interesting to see how that plays, because it is just going to be big death balls. As just clearing out the wave with the ulti, trying to prevent the dive, and he succeeds. Aja, well played. Will survive. So they're not going to go for a dive here. They just kill this minion. That turret's not going to die. Will eventually fall. Elk is so bulky. But tier 2 goes... Yes, tier 2 goes down. It will be all the tier 1s off the map, and the first tier 2 of the game will fall. So that gives BLG, or PSG, exactly that turret's worth of gold lead, pretty much. As they're playing the map really well. Both teams are using their macroing pretty solidly. But it is... Wow, he is out CSing Knight. This is not something... you do not see Knight get gold diffed very frequently. So, this is new to me. This is pretty new to see Knight get, like, diffed in really any capacity. Was he even behind in the... Not top esports. They did not face top esports. He was definitely behind in one of the LNG games. So, he was facing Scout. I'll give him that one. He was facing Scout. I don't know if Faker diffed him either, though, in their 1-2 match. Or their 1-1 match, not 1-2, sorry. Maple's diffing him a little bit, purely in farm and map play, though. Knight has the kill, has 3 takedowns of his team's 5. But it is pretty much just that. Because, yeah, 30 CS ahead for Knight right now, on top of making up pretty much all the takedown gold and then some in turrets is really, really bad. Ugh. Okay, I'll do that later. As they don't know they're spotted out here. And they're just going to keep this going. But we've seen this before from PSG, so... We've seen... I mean, we just saw T1 come back from a pretty healthy deficit. A sizable deficit. Is Junja just going to have to back off as BLG clear out the vision that PSG have set up? Nice control ward by On there to maintain the vision control that they just gained. And these ADCs are really strong right now. That is a 2-item Misfortune. It's about to be a 2-item Ezreal with an upgraded... And, oh, they're just going to jump in onto On. There's no one around. That's going to force the flash out. That's 2 ultis, but a flash out as the stun connects on the solar flare, but they can't follow it up. Jun is here now. Had they just... you can't really say had On just held onto it because that was his angle. He wasn't going to get that angle if Jun was showing, sadly. So, Jun and On just kind of in misfortunate timings. Because if Jun's showing, they likely don't push up that far, and On doesn't get the ulti. But Jun not showing means that he's too far to follow up on it and give Elk an ulti angle onto Woody. So it's just a tough scenario, all the things like all around, just some of the tough conundrums of League of Legends. Now about a 1k gold lead still. And it's pretty much in the hands of Maple. A 100 gold lead over the opposing ADC is not really that important. And a 300 gold lead is making it up a little bit. It's only about 700. It's not really 1,000. It fluctuates depending on the wave state. Obviously, that's how that's just how gold difference works in League of Legends and Dota. Depends on wave states and where the farm is going and if they're actually catching it. Aja's teleport... Oh, excuse me. Pardon. Aja's teleport to come back in here. Does not want to teleport on the dragon. And we're going to see teleports out of both of these top laners. As Bin is in. They haven't spotted Aja yet. And now they will spot him out as there's an ulti onto On. Jun in the back lines. They just need to keep Aja positioned forwards as Jun has to flash over the wall. But Bin is zoning right now. But Betty has found Jun. And that's going to be the dragon for PSG Talon. The jump canceled. That's going to have to be a flash from Bin. And PSG, Drake Soul point and a kill to boot. And they are controlling it. I am so nervous right now. Like, it is... so worrying, and they're going to call for the bear, and this is a play if they can get it. They have pretty good damage, so they can burst it down pretty quickly as well. Double ADCs with Woody bodyguard and Aja covering the entrance. Bilibili Gaming did not... They got split. They got split into Bin and Jun, and then the rest of the backline. As... Oh, Steel not going to come through, but that's a lot of damage onto Junja already. But Aja has found 2 with the ulti. Maple is 1v2ing at the moment, able to flash away, but Bin going to follow him over the wall, but it's On, isolated. It's a 3-for-1. And BLG lose the Baron. They lose the follow-up fight. And PSG Talon, call it MSI 2024 because they are playing this team wildly close. And they get some engage here. Nice ulti, but everyone's able to get out of the bullet time. Woody cancels the bullet time, baby. Get the smite, obviously. It would have been really hard to lose it, but we've seen some crazy steals, obviously, as Elk and On are getting Maelstrom. They're getting sliced up, diced up. Well played by Maple. Just burn the flash. It's all worth it. But he's 1v1ing Bin right now. He has no more damage, though. And he will just put him to low. Good counter-strike there. I believe it blocks Q. I think it blocks anything that counts as an on-hit. Or can proc on-hit effects. Those are treated as auto-attacks. Oh, my goodness. Dancing on the edge. It just was a bit of a... They mentioned the Auroral. It was just slightly misplaced. You have a bigger auto-attack range on dismount, really. As the engage on to Elk is there, but there's no follow-up quite yet. They're just going to get the turret as the Cyclone comes out. For Jun, it's only going to catch out 2 members. Woody going to jump in. On goes in. They're going to find Woody. Aja able to flash away to safety from the Solar Flare. As Maple just going to jump in on. Oh my goodness, so much damage coming out. That was a... Oh, not there. It's going to hit Jun. I don't think there was a clone angle where he dodges it. You don't go invulnerable, you go untargetable. So, but you just stealth. Not really untargetable. They do get their kill back, though, but they are still about 5k down. And you can see, look at the roller. That is a cliff face at the Baron, obviously, because that is a Baron on top of the fight win. And PSG are just pressuring these side lanes, continuing to do it. They've taken out all the tier 2s now, and it's just up to execution. They just need to pretty much body off PSG, or BLG, sorry, from a major objective. They have Soul coming up in 2 minutes, so it's just going to be keeping these waves pushed for the most part. I don't see them going for a crazy push to try and get anything on these base turrets. They're just going to try and keep the waves extended, force BLG to step forwards, and maybe find a pick if they can. Oh my god, this is so stressful. This is so stressful, and I'm worried, but it's a fun time. Do they catch him out here? Not going to connect onto anything. Knight maybe can turn the fight here, as there goes the Between Worlds. Maple's not inside. It's just going to be Junja. He's going to be able to flash out. Woody going to get hit, but On is so low. Maple, Fate seals. Betty finds the first kill of the fight. It's going to be followed up. It's a double for Betty, and it's another for Aja. 3 for nothing. Can PSG break the base here? As the wave clear comes out, they don't have a teleport quite yet. Aja just didn't get to base in time. He was basing, trying to teleport to get back to the wave, but they have another one coming in if they want to try and end it. There's no bullet time for this one. This should be the start of the base this should be the start of the base falling for BLG, and PSG Talon are taking it to the LPL. But it's still only one game. It is still only part of the first game. Drake Soul in 40 seconds here. They will have every member available on the side of BLG. They'll have both their teleports. They'll have pretty much all of their abilities up. If not, will have all their abilities up. I don't think bullet time is that long of a CD. But it actually starts with BLG having a really good counter engage. Weirding was perfect. Across the veil. Just call him. This is why Knight is so damn good, man. But On is getting shredded. Denies the engage from Woody, but it's not even going to matter as Q is so clean there, even through the locket. And then Aja finds 2 with the slicing Maelstrom to follow up Maple's engage. And PSG just keep finding fights. And, I mean, Knight, again, denies the early engage, but just Jun cannot find a position that he can take, as that is a lot of damage from the True Shot Barrage. Drake started by Bilibili. Woody gonna get locked down, but he's still gonna find 2 with the engage. Fate sealed is nice, and that's already Knight getting forced into stasis. Aja's coming in with the slicing Maelstrom, but he's gonna get taken down. Jun versus Betty. Betty's going to win, but I think he's gonna fall to the dragon. No, he isn't. Maple has to run away from Bin. Bin, does he have the damage to finish off Maple? He does. And it's 2v2 Betty and Elk. The ADCs staring each other down. Elk on the Drake right now. They don't have vision. Bin going to be able to base, though, and teleport back in. That is the strong suit of having this Jax. And they're going to wrap around here. Teleport. They're jumping in. Elk gets the shutdown. They don't get the Drake Soul. It's going to be 1 for 2. And BLG keep this game going. Oh my goodness. This is going to be... Bin. That's world finalist Bin to you. God damn it. And BLG... They survived the initial onslaught. The engage is just not quite there for PSG. Look where Aja is. He's still teleporting in by the time PSG go for the initial engage. So Maple and Woody are getting shredded. And then they need Aja to come in. And he's not hitting onto anybody anymore. Elk avoids the third stack of the Maelstrom. And that means he's going to be able to survive this. And then all the damage is down. It's just up to Betty. And they don't have the damage to burst down Elk. He has the cleanse available, and that means that stunning him out is just really impossible. They'd been able to base and clean up the fight. If they got the Drake Soul, maybe you could argue they would have gotten that, like, an objective victory, but they can't burst it down. They're going on to Elk. They don't have a double stun. They don't even... Oh, my God. Wow. That is a lot of damage onto Betty. Elk is not even going to target the Sedge. He's just going to shoot Betty in the face. And that is a big win for Bilibili Gaming there. Good amount of gold going into the carries. 5,800 damage from Elk casually. He is so damn strong. I mean, this is a perfect comp for Misfortune. I don't think you should be drafting Misfortune every game, but a comp like this is just the perfect MF comp right here. And I'm really glad they really stopped considering Ziggs. Because BLG, like, if they went Ziggs, I don't think they're nearly as in this game as they are right now. They would have better turret siege, but that's not really saying anything because you've been like your side lane gets a little stronger, maybe, but that's about it. Like your side lane gets very minimally stronger, and they go for just the better pick here objectively. As PSG, are they going to pick a fight here is the question. On going forwards, but he can position pretty aggressively at the moment. The rest of his team is here to back him up. If PSG engage onto the Alawi, onto the Leona there, they don't get anything. Solarflare not going to connect. This is a big angle now as it's going to connect onto On. There's nothing for him, but that's going to be a disengage. Woody's in there, but there's no follow-up, and Woody's going to get taken out by Elk. And now Jun going forwards. Can they find the damage? They can't find the bullet time angle quite yet, but they are pushing back PSG as the bullet time is there. Aja gets locked down. Maple doesn't have the damage at the moment, and Betty is just zoned off. Big auto attacks from Elk, and he's gonna find 2 in that fight, and BLG get PSG to overcommit to the play, and this is gonna be the Baron for them, no doubt about it. There's no steal coming in from Betty unless he has an absolute snipe in him, but it's way too early. That's half of Elk's health bar. Holy piss, this champ is strong. But PSG are fumbling through the gate. Oh my goodness, fumbling and bumbling. Baron for Bilibili Gaming, and this is going to bring the gold to almost dead even. And it's going to come down to a team fight. I already know it's going to come down to one massive team fight where like 9 people die. We have not seen the double ace yet this Worlds, which I think is honestly rarer than Pentacles at times. But it starts with the jump in onto On, like a half commit onto On. But look at this between Worlds. Woody's in, no one can follow him. And then this engage from Jun is perfect because, again, no rocket belt for Aja means that this bullet time can't connect with Elk. And they are doing so well at protecting their ADC. BLG are just keeping themselves in this game through brute force and team fights. No rocket belt for Aja. I'm intrigued by this call here because he really needs one to reposition himself manually. Like, if he has rocket belt, he gets onto Elk way easier. He's making it so difficult for himself. And it's still playable. It's only a 300 gold advantage for BLG now. Their first lead in a long time. Their first lead since like 15 minutes into the game. But it is PSG just mis-execution there. This is a little different from the MSI series. The MSI series went pretty poorly for PSG when they misdrafted or when they went back way too far into comfort. I think they're just playing way better this time. Rather than like drafting only comfort, I think they're actually drafting comfort that's good for them. Not just like Jarvan every game and Sedge every game, just because they know how to play it. It will be a turret falling for BLG, but it's just really hard to teamfight this comp. The Between Worlds is such a mix. I'm just shocked we got both. I'm shocked we got one, and then I'm dumbfounded we got both of these 2 mid laners let through because they have been terrorizing the World Championships. The fact that not only Aurora or Yone made it through, but both of them in the same game. Crazy. As Junja is not seeing it on, not going to get the jump in, and there's on getting chunked down, and they're going to find the kill early between worlds, going to keep them in, but they can't keep it up for very long. Woody forced to disengage, and now here comes Aja, looping around. They're just looking for the Drake Soul. They have the advantage. There's no engage. Cyclone down between worlds down. Bin unspotted. Wait a minute. Bin? He's spotted out now, but Bin going to get the jump onto Aja. That's Aja down. Maple doesn't get anything with the Fate Sealed. Bin is on a rampage. They're jumping in onto Betty now. Can he keep finding the damage? The sun comes through. They got Maple. Can they get everyone? It's Elk with a double. Bin has saved the fight for BLG. And they're chasing down Junja. They're chasing down Betty. They can't get onto Elk. They can't find Bin. The Baron buff is gone, but it's a 3,000 gold advantage for Bilibili Gaming and numbers on their side. 4v2 right now. They can just go get this dragon after they hammer down these base. After they're just going to go for the base. PSG have misplayed this late game so badly. And it's going to be disaster for them as there's the Between Worlds. Betty has no flash. Betty has no life left in the game. It's 2 tanks versus all of Bilibili as Bin going to get locked down. They're going to find Junja and they're looking for Woody. The Nexus turret falls and BLG force mistakes from PSG Talon. And they are 1 win away from saving their world's run for the time being. Oh my god, team fights just everywhere. Left, right, center. Just keep throwing them out there. Let's go. These are 2 teams that love to fight, and let's just throw hands. God damn it, I want to see it. Game 2, send them to 3. Let's just throw hands. I'm all in on the team fights, man. These team fights have been so much goddamn fun. Like, unironically. Like, there's nothing. I'm just actually having a blast with these team fights. Bilibili Gaming outmaneuver PSG in team fights. They protect the puppy, and they protect the puppy damn well. Knight and Elk pop. I mean, it was really Knight enabling Elk more than it was Knight and Elk co-carrying. Knight did well, but Elk pops the hell off and is on the verge of being the sole reason that BLG to remain alive in this tournament. They take the 1-0 lead. Will they make it 2-0, or will PSG do what they did at MSI and send us to a deciding game? It was game 5 then, but game 3 here. I will see you for potentially the final game of the day and the final game for potentially Maple's career. Game 2, Bilibili Gaming, PSG Talon up next. Okay, it's time. I'm a bit sad and really tired. Actually, my god, so much happened in that last game. But BLG lead 1-0. 1-0. I have it inverted because I did this yesterday. It's very no. Actually, no, I didn't. I lied. But it's 1-0 Bilibili Gaming after a comeback win in game number 1. All we know, they are getting flamed no matter what happens. Like, they are getting cooked no matter what on the Chinese social media. They are going to get fried for playing PSG Talon close and also losing 2 games in the past tense. But that is a future us problem to deal with. If they lose this, they're getting obliterated. Like, they're not getting... Like, they win this, they're getting flamed. They lose this, they're getting, like, deported from the country. I swear to God. Like, they're deporting BLG. They are running back. They are going to run back to China if they lose this series as the LPL champions. Yone's gone. I don't know if they're willing to give over Aurora to PSG because they got rid of the other power pick. They could have left it up and just got it for themselves because then PSG has to ban something. You really shouldn't show Yone until someone shows Aurora. That's actually maybe a good idea or a terrible idea. And that's a reason I'm not a coach. But also the other side could just ban neither. But this is also kind of BLG's fault in this draft because they showed it themselves. They have to ban the Aurora. So this is actually a really good draft strategy from PSG Talon. Reckless with my heart. I went back and listened to those cheesy LEC songs, and they're so fun. But PSG, no Aurora, no Yone, so what is the angle? It's just going to be Junja getting his jungler of choice. like, it is pretty much just Junja's champion. Like, he can play the Vi, the Maokai, the Sedge, but his Skarner this season, that's like the bread and butter of this team right now. Like, Junja on the Skarner, he's been picking it up more and more as the season's got on. He played 11 games of it in summer, most played of the summer, and those 11 games were as many, or almost as many, as he had on Vi and Sedge throughout the whole year. And just playing it so much means that this guy is really used to it. Been going to get his jacks back. He had a pretty good recovery. I mean, that TP flank to catch out, to pincer PSG, won them the game pretty much. I mean, it was kind of a slow burn to that point, but that was the fight that won them the game. Going to get the Sedge Wani. Junja was on it last game, had some decent plays, but just could not seal it up in the late game. This is going to be a Smolder. I don't love Maple on Smolder, but if it is Maple, we roll with it, I guess. Poppy locked in. This could be a bot lane as well. Or it could be Poppy top lane. We did see it hovered, but not committed to last game. In exchange for the Kennen, which just did not get to go anywhere. We did not draft. They didn't pick up Rocket Belt. And because Aja never picked up a Rocket Belt, never got to see the Kennen do anything, really, after the first, like, 2 plays. They want to get their ADC early here. We have not seen a ton of Trist. Have they successfully nerfed Trist out of meta? Holy piss. It's been a little bit. Kai'Sa going to be the lock-in for Elk here. Really strong ADC. I'm assuming they're not going to go I mean, with Aurora already gone, they're not going a heavy team fight comp. No Aurora and... Oh, Face Edge. That's not it. But no Aurora, no Wukong. Obviously, you probably aren't going to go something like a Misfortune. Even though you could brute force it with, like, a Leon. It's not really worth. It's more efficient to take a champion that can follow up really easily to these picks, like Sejuani. Is Ashe going to be taken away from Betty? And I don't know if they're going to ban out Betty here, if they're going to ban out Woody. If this is, I mean, maybe it's really difficult to predict where these are going to go at the moment. Smolder's probably going mid. We've seen a little bit of Smolder bot, but it's pretty much been exclusively Smolder mid the entire summer split. We saw it in spring. It was a really strong ADC, and then they nerfed the piss out of it, so it's way more efficient to play it in a solo lane. Syndra taken away from Knight, and they do need to target him. He is a problem. He was more of a problem because of his ultimate more than anything. He found really good ult angles to catch out members of PSG, but get rid of his carry potential, because I don't need to tell you, you don't need to see him carry in a game to know that this guy can carry games when he's needed to. So it is just better safe than sorry, because with PSG, there's no more room to be sorry. You have one more loss in your next 2 games, and you are out of the World Championships. They're going to get rid of the Triss. We've seen it again, but just not as much as we've seen other mid lane options, which is awesome. So I guess they didn't nerf it out of meta. They nerfed it out of first pick. They nerfed it out of first rotation, like consistent perma presence, which is great. And now that there is pretty much it's Smolder, so it is just covering your bases, getting rid of the mid option. This is going to be Knight on Jace. Holy cow. All AD comp, but Elk is going to go this more... Oh, Zyricon anti-dive. They get the lane matchup they want. Woody on the Rakan. Don't even... Oh, baby. Don't even get me started. I love Woody so much. I will always sing the praise of him. He's a good Rakan. He's a good Nautilus. Great Rel player. Good Leona. Like, Rel game last game. That was a bad one, though. And this should just be a Nautilus lock-in, unless they want a particular counter pick. Like, if they want... I mean, into Rakan, Nautilus is pretty good, but if they want something more particular, like the Leona, possibly, or something like the Thresh, usually is something we see into the Rakan a lot, because you could buffer the E very easily. But besides that, like, Nautilus Kai'Sa is just way too good of a lane. Thresh Kai'Sa used to be the lane of choice, but Nautilus is way more efficient right now. It's crazy Thresh hasn't been meta in, like, 2 years. It's weird that I don't feel about it. I miss Thresh. But these are going to be good comps. I don't know how Knight's going to fit into this. It is a really strong poke comp, actually. So maybe he fits in fine, honestly. Because you look at these 2 comps, PSG have anti-dive and team fighting, and BLG have poke, and they can convert to a team fight comp pretty quickly. I don't know. I mean, I personally think of Jace more as a bait or burst. Oh my god, burst champion than a consistent damage champion or a team fighting champion. But Kaisa, Kaisa, Jax, very much team fighting champions. Absolutely champs you want to put into a team fight scenario. And BLG, both sides have good comps. We haven't seen any team have a disastrous comp yet, I think. It's been a little bit since we've seen a team have a disaster draft, at least. It had to be like day 1 or 2. Gam had a disaster game. Oh my god, first game for Gam, disaster draft. That is the definition of disaster draft, as it is time for PSG to put up the last stand. Is Maple's career going to end against the team that they came so close to beating at MSI, a team they came so close to beating in game 1 of this set? Or can they claw it back and keep it going for one more game and give him a send-off to remember? This is a pretty good, generally good lane matchups across the board for PSG Talon, but again, they won the laning phase, they won the early game. We just need to see how this converts to the late game at this point, because that is where they faltered. The late game was where the struggle started, and it is the source of all the strife of PSG in that game 1. Because for the most part, they were playing well before, and they even had good team fights then, but they just did not have really anything. Okay, that's Smolder. Sorry. I saw an ADC, and I was like, that's choice, but it's not that ADC. What Scar? Is that Cosmic Guardian? His face looks so weird in this. His face looks like a turret from Portal. As late ward going down, they're going to spot out Jun to start position. They're going to know that also Jun starting on not Raptors, which means he's likely starting blue side, but we don't see any pings going down, so maybe they don't know yet. Or maybe they know that he's starting blue side already. I don't know. They'll spot him out eventually, because Maple should be able to push out this wave pretty early against the Jace. It's kind of difficult for Jace to do this whole early pressure thing with just a Q. Did force a miss on the CS, actually, so that's kind of something. Like, unironically, that is something. Smolder's a heavy scaling champion. So is Jace, but Jace is a burst champ, so he's a bit more chill about it. But now with the level advantage, it is going to be hard for Knight to catch a lot of this wave because he has to walk so close. And Smolder is really easy to punish with, as it is just 76% win rate on Jace. Yeah. Cheaters for the faith. Yeah, BLG, they've gotten popular after being mediocre for most of their early careers. Or I guess, early existence. Because these players had nothing to do with that. As Knight going to get a little bit of traded back by Maple, but it is what you kind of just have to accept, is that you're going to get traded back for the most part. Ooh. Just gonna get those, okay. Shun? Oh, Jun. I thought, sorry, we were looking at bot lane and they mentioned Shun, and I was like, huh? The ADC for CFO? No, we're talking about junglers. Shun has had a decent series. His Wukong was good, so obviously they brought him in for a reason. They thought he was going to be a stylistic matchup, a good style matchup for PSG, which so far is true. These teams like beating the piss out of their opponents, so good choice. Okay, so the buckler goes down. It just gets blocked. Is Jun going to give some stacks over to Maple? It shouldn't really be that much of a worry point for BLG. Smolder's going to get the stacks anyways. He's into Jace. He's going to get stacks regardless of the situation. It's just how many he's going to get, and if they can control the pace a little good. A little good. If they can control the pace a little bit. Why? I guess how much of the pace they can control. They know that Jun's in this bot half here. As Knight gonna get stunned up. Maple doesn't have the damage, but that is a good chunk. Oh my god, the quaking. As the potions, Jun's just gonna disengage. If Knight wants to flash follow, I think Jun is more than happy to oblige. As Jun has spotted a low health Junja. That is the thing. Junja's very low here. He needs to be careful, as there's the flash force. And well played by Jun. They're just using all of his info advantage, as Maple needs to be a little careful. does know that there is a rogue Sejuani. There's a rogue boar woman, a rogue boar riding woman in his jungle right now. And we'll just play safe. Jun doesn't really want to go for it. It's kind of hard to lock down a Smolder without any hard CC that's point and click. As this should just be a complete reset. There should be no cancel here from On. They're going to spot him out as dodges away. Betty forced to miss another CS. He was a little too far away there. And we're going to see just more CSing. It's a little bit more farm, but that is a lot of farm in favor of Elk here. That is kind of the thing, is they're getting, if PSG just get pressured off wave, they can't really afford to do anything. They don't need to be ahead, but it helps. As Maple going to get traded pretty aggressively by Knight there. He's going to be able to heal up. This, again, everyone and their mom's taking biscuits, because this is pre-nerf biscuits, man. Which is also post-nerf biscuits, or post-nerf OG biscuits, when you got 4 of them. And I missed the 4 biscuits. They were cool, though. Because this is hyper aggressive. Should be early grubs for BLG, sorry. They were on the red side last game. As Knight gonna get traded a little bit. Maple burns the ulti to shove the wave out. As Aja's here. Junja doesn't smite away that grub, so it's gonna go 1 for BLG. Aja's here. Bin should be able to rotate down in just a second, as he's pretty much just left the wave at 1 minion. Maple's here. It's going to be a 1-to-1 split for now. And I don't think BLG can lose this fight. PSG need to be very careful here, as On has made his way up. And Maple's basing right now. He wants to get out of here, get his item. It's only a 2-1 split, so it's not that bad. You got 1, and you can call that a win, honestly. As Elk gonna get rooted, but Betty doesn't have damage. He's not taking a base yet. Neither one has taken a base. Both of these guys are just fighting each other. They are just here to farm. They're farming up storms out here. As Aja laid on the W. Still would have got stunned, but laid on the W. As it's a slight... That was a 1 gold lead. I don't think I've ever seen a 1 gold advantage before. So that was a very weird pattern of the farm, apparently. Could be Drake. I don't know if there's going to be a contest. It's an early Hextech Drake. Would be nice to contest. Junja has ulti. There's no chance, yeah. Knight spots him out. There's no chance. PSG are going to fight this. You can see where their bot lane is. Hook connects, and Junja is going to fall here. First blood goes to Knight, and just no respect given over. As Maple will grab this turret plate, but On doesn't have ulti. Maple's going to have to go execute. It's just going to have to be an execute for him. Oh, he waited way too long there. Jun has ulti. He's just going to buy time here. And there's the stun. What is Maple doing? Just go for the execute. Just go for the execute, Maple. Why is he waiting? I don't know why he's pathing that way. Why doesn't he path straight to the turret? What is the reason? Like, genuinely, what is the reasoning behind that play that makes him think he can stall? You're not finding a teleport angle. You don't have teleport. Should have just went for the execute, because no one was there. Bin's gonna get ejected. Some Aja's gonna get some platings. Cheeky little play, and that is the MSI 2021 emote. God damn. Sends him to another tower of his. Gets another plating in his pocket. Still befuddled by Maple on that one. Like, does my guy think he can get a kill? Because you can't. He's trying to, I guess he was trying to farm some extra stacks. It's 2 stacks. Like, what? You got 2. Wasn't that valuable? Aja try to go for the base. Doesn't have teleport. He's just going to hold the wave here. As Junja just has not been able to get active in this game. As Maple going to get hit again by the combo. Is that Scorch? As Maple just not in time, and he's late again on the play. I mean, Jun, incredible read there. Knight, again, just chunking him down so easily. But what is Maple, what is he doing this game? Maple is just not playing well at all, really. And yeah, and PSG are just falling behind everywhere now. Junja has not been busy on the map. He's not been really doing anything. PSG are just kind of not playing. They're just farming, and that's really it. They've not gone for any fights. This is a stark difference for both sides from game one. As nice play there from Aja to get some damage onto Bin. Like, Bin's the only one who's losing his 1v or his lane right now. Otherwise, just Junja and Jun seeing each other, and Junja's just getting shredded here, and he's forced to flash. The Impale doesn't connect. Where is the coordination from PSG Talon? As a nice combo comes through onto Jun, it should be a kill going over to Maple, and now Woody's here. He's going to land the charm into Bin, but On is here as well. They need to be very careful, as that's the depth charge connecting onto Junja, and Knight on a killing spree already, and it's going to make it a double kill, and BLG are giving nothing over to PSG Talon. And, yeah, this series is done. PSG are just not playing. Yeah, that's the end of the sentence. PSG are just not playing. They're not active on doing much of anything. They're just falling behind. They're just allowing themselves to fall into holes here. And they don't have any answers for it, as Elk not going to be able to get rooted here. As nice killer instinct, but holds the Featherstorm. Nice flash from Elk. Oh, baby. Does have to burn all his defensive utility, but that was really good. He saw a cleanse available. This guy was in great position. They have not been playing around the bot side, so Elk has just not been pressured to really do anything. I mean, well played by both sides there. This is very dangerous. On knows there is no angle for nice flash there from Betty Knight. Not going to get anything, and BLG can't find the punish there on the PSG bot lane at least. But look at Knight. Holy cow. 1,600 gold ahead of everyone. How is Aja 200? What the hell? He's a wave ahead, but that's about it. Like, jeez. Oh, and there's Aja in the enemy jungle. I guess he's positioning here to get a knock-up? No, he's just basing. He sees Maple, or he sees Knight coming, so he's just gonna waddle out. Aja is just in there. He's not spotted, but they finally spot. What is Aja's play here? I want to see what Aja does here. We've seen some very goofy plays. As there's the jump in onto Knight. If they could get the shutdown, this would be huge. Mom comes in. Not gonna find a ton of damage onto the main target, and that's a lot of things burned for nothing. This is a very different game. That is Mom and Quickness burned, and Glacial Prison and Depth Charge for actual nothing. No one dies. In fact, I think both sides left healthier than they engaged. It will be 2 drakes for Bilibili Gaming, but this is a weird little game. Game is slowed down, and as it turns out, burning the ultis, no one can win. Elk is getting engaged on, but it's mostly just Junja to cover this turret. But this is not a good turret cover angle. They don't have ulti. As Impale going to connect, that's on though, and he doesn't have anything to follow it up with. If he can at least land some damage, but On going to be able to hook out to safety, and Woody's going to pick up the kill there, so at least it's something, but it's going on to your support. That turret shot did not kill, as they found Jun. They aren't going to kill him. No one's basing. That execute voice line came in early. But it is still a pretty solid advantage for Bilibili Gaming. 2,000 almost in the gold difference. And the only kill, or well, one of the 2 kills is on Woody. So, yeah, PSG aren't really doing a ton there. And it's not going well. That's a lot of damage already. Elk is going to be a lot of the AP. He's just going to be a lot of the AP for BLG because his missile does magic damage. Because why not? Even though it scales off AD. Woody jumps away. Get the ward. Come on. This is what supports are made. Yeah. And on get. This is maximum support gaming. The ward kills. It's what we live for, okay? We thrive. What the hell is that? What the hell is that ward? That is the ugliest ward skin I've ever seen. As Junja gonna go forwards. Rift Herald started. That's a lot of ultis available. We could see another, like, 4 ulti nothing fight. They're just gonna go forwards here. He's sneezing. It's kind of gross. Smite connects for PSG, and here comes Aja. Can Aja find the engage? Depth charge not going to connect. Aja's just going to run at Jun, as there's On getting caught out, and Betty's going to find one. Aja's not taking damage, as Stun not connecting onto Jun, actually. They need to hit Elk. And they're just going to go for Knight instead. Where's the damage dealers? They're going to get a lot of combo. And finally, Junja going to take out Knight. It took 3 tries. They're going to get it. Bin going for the turrets. He could shred here. Maple continues to get, will get his first turret of the game as well for PSG. But Bin doesn't get the other turret. And PSG execute really well. Where was this for the past 10 minutes? Whatever. PSG Talon execute really well on that play. And I think BLG give them they give them the space they need to, but they get the stun. They lose the Herald, whatever. No one gets the Herald, so who cares? And this is, On gets sacrificed. And then Aja's just, look where Aja is. And then Junja actually kind of goes for the right play by posturing like he's going to go for Elk for so long. It does seem like Knight is safe. And then great flash ulti there by Junja. And then the triple, the quadra CC. And it's Aja picking up the kill with the burn of the red buff. And that is so well played. Just so well played by PSG. I'm honestly kind of impressed Aja just got away with standing it. But they only have AD. They don't have any AP on their team. So their only AP is Kaisa Missile, which is not really a lot. As Maple and Woody shredding this turret, they will be able to get this turret onto Maple. They need to stop this push from Elk, though, because they have a lot of turret damage with Elk, because he's an ADC still. No, Jun went. Okay, Zeke's. Junja going to finish up a Warmogs here as jumping in onto On. Aja's 4v1 right now as there's Maple coming in. Mom connects. Depth charge going to connect as well with 2. Quickness finds 2 more members to charm up. On is killed off again and turned off. And Aja's just standing there. They don't do damage to him. He's 4v1 to start this fight. And PSG Talon are pulling it back. Bin going to grab this turret pretty easily. He has Demolish. And it's just Betty. It's Betty, and he has the wave on his side. They're not doing any damage. Elk forced to cleanse out. Oh my goodness, Aja. Just so aggressive on the play. And they're going to come in here with Junja. Looking for Elk. And he's going to be able to ulti backwards. And here comes the teleport. They need to burn down this guy quick because here comes Bin. The carry. He's ejected. And PSG are going to get another fight where they could just walk away. Aja with a great keeper's verdict. And he's been the difference maker this game. Wow. Aja, yeah, that was not the guy I was expecting to be the difference maker. I mean, Maple's pulling it back. He's had some questionable plays. Junja really did not get active early, but Aja and Woody are just really doing their jobs here. It is Drake Soul, so they do need to pay attention because Drake Soul point, very important. They don't have any real big ultis. They don't have the Mom coming up just yet, and they don't have Impale or Quickness. They need to be very careful here. They have Featherstorm. They're going to get the Smolder ulti just up in a second. They're going to start this. I don't know if they should be starting this just yet. As you can see, Knight going to be able to finish off this tier 2 pretty much instantly. It's like 3 shots away. And it was exactly 3 shots away. See? And Knight is teleport. So here he comes. If Aja could cancel this, he's not going to be able to make it in time. And Knight's just going to match it. Yeah, she kind of just needs to steal this. And let's see who's going to get it. 1,400 down to 11. It's going to be in favor of PSG. It's 1 for 1 so far. Support's down. Who's going to pull the trigger? Is anyone going to pull the trigger? Because neither side really needs to fight right now. PSG got what they came for, and BLG don't have engage. So the question is, do they want to go? Because Junja has Impale. I guess it's the question of, does PSG want to go? Or do BLG just find some snipes right now? If Knight and Elk can hit like 2 or 3 of their spells combined, they could just shred this. And this turn, that's going to be Jun. Ejected from the fight, Impale forced to be flashed away from by Knight. And if he flash follows, he get, or if you flash ulti, he gets it. But it's going to be okay with burning Knight's ulti, or burning Knight's flash. And this game is only 1,500. It feels like this was so over. BLG had such a strong early game. It feels like it should have been unplayable. This airborne from Woody is from On, so good. They're going to trade these. Boom, bang. And then I believe it's Junja picking up that one for On, which is not where you want all your gold to go, but Skarner does a lot of damage. And then just the fight doesn't really go anywhere. Impale and Featherstorm available. They only have Killer Instinct and Grandmaster's Might. I'm not calling it Grandmaster at Arms. That's a stupid ultimate name. That's his title, not his goddamn ulti. But they have pretty much the only ultis are all one engage ulti and then a bunch of, you probably don't want to engage with this ultimate kind of ultimate, you know? You don't want to engage with the Killer Instinct. And PSG steal away the dragon in a 50-50, and they keep trying to get him out, and they don't. Knight's not in position to bonk him away. You give him a bonk on the head and eject him, and Ajita just saves it for turret push. Two item ADCs. They are farming, and that is it. There are 3 takedowns between these ADCs. Neither of them have died. This is a farming lane if I've ever seen one. Like, Junja gonna get engaged on here, but that's a 2-man suppress. If they can keep it going, the charm going to connect with the airborne does it. There's the stun, and Junja's on a killing spree. And the feather call by Betty is huge, but they don't kill off Elk. Knight! Are you kidding me? How are you alive, Elk? Look at the health bar. And once again, slivers of health as Aja and Vin are just fighting in the top lane over nothing. Holy cow. So many things go down there. There's not even a... He doesn't even cleanse. Fearless, this man. This man is not even scared. This doesn't connect. I don't think it would have really turned the tide of the fight that much more had the airborne connected. They get this. And then this... I mean, this is such a good flash follow. No fear. Has the ulti. So close. Oh, baby. He's burning on the red buff, but he has red buff to counteract it as well. No way. That's insane. So well played by Bilibili Gaming there to pull it back. And yeah, it's kind of a tough break for PSG, but Elk is forced to flash away as Woody. How does Elk survive that? Plays the razor's edge there of reasonable play has been spotted. They don't spot out the teleport, do they? No, they know. As Aja's here, he's just going to jump in. And that's going to be a flash out from On, but do PSG win this fight? Jun's going forwards. Aja ejects Bin from this. Bin's teleporting back into the play. They're focusing down Jun. That's just not who you want to be hitting, as Betty is getting shredded to bits. And Elk, what a feather call, but it's not going to matter. Double kill for Elk. Bin's in there. And it's going to be Knight with one more. And it's PSG 4-0. And BLG are giving them nothing to play with here. That is, oh my god, these team fights are insane. These are like the craziest fight. These are Chinese TikToks, man. Like, oh my god. I'm watching a Chinese TikTok right now. These blade callers are like, what the hell are these blade callers? He's hitting these. This starts with the weirdest teleport. They spot it out. Aja doesn't get the stun, and I don't know what the angle is for the rest of this play. Nice ulti, but they probably need to hit someone who's not Bin. But Bin is positioned so close that you can only hit him. And then they're focusing down Jun. Look at Elk. He's untouched. He's just staring at PSG like, okay. And then Bin teleports back in. This is comedy, man. And then the call back. Oh, we're not even going to get it, as apparently they're already considering fighting again. Drake is available. It will be soul point if Bilibili do get this. This is a cinema game. I don't know if it's a good kind of cinema, but it's cinema. These two teams are just kind of doing things, and it's very entertaining, honestly. I don't even know what's going on. I mean, Knight is 7 kills in. There's a reason he's very good at this champion. There's a reason this is like one of his most played in his career. As what are you gonna jump forwards, not find anything, and immediately disengage? Doesn't want to mess around, but PSG had some fights. They haven't really closed out the gold gap. In fact, it's gotten significantly worse as they cannot find a team fight. They found some picks. They found some easy 1-for-nothings. They have not found a fight in a while as Maple just clearing out this mid wave. Smaller things. But the mid turret falls, and that's what matters. Oh, the hook connects onto Aja, and there's the ulti onto On, but Aja's already gone. Nice triple airborne there. Smolder ult over the top. It's gonna find a lot of damage. Betty forced to ulti. Bin is here. Snipe from Elk is huge. That's gonna be the stun from Bin or onto Bin. And it's just Maple and a bunch of low health guys. They're trying to just survive this game, and it is not looking like it's gonna happen. The miracle is over. Shark. I don't even know whose emote that is. I think it's a TFT one. As Bin is just gonna be able to ignore a lot of Maple's damage here. They're gonna jump in onto him. Does he have the execute? He can't get it. Bin finds the kill. 3v1. My guy is immortal. It just walks away the counter-strike. Jax enters an evasive stance, and he did holy piss, Woody. My God, that was... no. Not what you want to do when you're facing down to Jace, but Jax... Yeah, oh, they're gonna show... Yes! Show him. Airborne. He's taking so much damage. This is so close to executing, and then... The heal from the Sundered Sky is what he needs, and he enters the evasive stance. Cue me now! Cue me now, bozo! I don't know if he actually has Sundered. I think he has Triforce and Grasp. And smiles on PSG's face. Yeah, it's Oh, he has Sundered as well. Okay, so it's both. And Jax entered that evasive stance. Little poppy helicopter of his own. But the first game was close, and Bilibili are not giving him an inch. It's a 10,000 gold lead in 27 minutes. PSG Talon, it's looking pretty over, and Bilibili Gaming, they're already going to get cooked on those. So they're already getting cooked for this performance, as they're going to get jumped on Knight here, and that's going to be Knight down, but here comes Bin. He's in the evasive stance. On is really just going to die again. He's going to survive for now. Elk has ulti still if he wants to engage here, as they just keep stunning themselves. Elk on a rampage, though. The root not going to connect Betty. Flash for flash, but Bin finds the follow. Elk is in. Double for Elk. Triple. Nope, Elk doesn't get the triple. It's a double for Bin. Stole it away. But that is all that is needed. And BLG, they're not going to give him the close series. It's Skarner. Can Skarner impale 5 people and finish the job? I don't think he can. And the last dance is over for Maple. The last dance ends not with a bang, but a whimper. They don't go out swinging. They go out silent. It's a slow dance to the end. And BLG survive another game. They survive one more day. And Maple's career, that might have just been it. That might have just been the final game he performs in. And it wasn't very close for very long. They had some moments, but BLG, I don't know if you should be happy about that. Game 2, yes, but Game 1, it is a bit of an unhappy situation, to say the least, as they have been having an underwhelming World Championships, and I don't think Game 1 gave much hope to the fans back home who are expecting BLG to be this dominant force. They are representing the region as the best they have to offer, and the final bow for Maple and his squad here, the last bow of the PCS before they become the LCP, and they're smiling at least, and that's a good thing. Like, the smiles are on the face. They had fun doing it. They kind of just went balls out, and honestly, I respect the hell out of it. Bin, player of the game. Yeah, he deserves player of the series. He deserves it. He had a phenomenal series. BLG, close out clean. But it is, yeah, it is not how you want to win a series. It's definitely not how PSG want to finish their World Championships, but it is not how you want to win. How does he hit those roots? Sorry, they showed the insane blade callers because there were 2 really weird ones back to back, but it is not what you're hoping for BLG. You're supposed to stomp this team. Like, this is a team you're supposed to stomp. You get the 2-0, but it is an ugly one. And for PSG, good game 1, terrible game 2, and it's really all it is. That's all it will be for them. The PCS takes its final bow, and Maple likely, it's not confirmed, but Maple has said this is probably the last dance. Like, he said entering the PCS summer split that it is probably his last split. He's been contemplating retirement for a little because, I mean, guy's been playing for, what, 12 years now? He's been playing since 2012. He was on the Gamania Bears when they made the World Championship back in 2013. And my guy has been on, like, all the legendary. He was on PSG Talon, another, obviously, this legendary PCS organization, and he was on the legendary LMS org, Flash Wolves. He was a key part of a lot of their upset victories over. A lot of the reason why the LMS was rated so highly entering the PCS era was because of him and players like Aja, where they consistently showed up in international events, even if the rest of the region wasn't there to compete. They were showing out, and it's all over. And it's really weird that it's all over, you know? And, oh boy, this isn't even the most important one. We'll get there when we get there, but, like, the day Faker retires is the day that I think I cry. But it is a W for Bilibili. It's a W for T1. Different circumstances. T1 send themselves to their 9th quarterfinals at the World Championships, while they send G2 to the 2-2 pool. BLG survived to make another 2-2 pool. Look, G2, Bilibili, the run back. We have Team Liquid GAM tomorrow. Like, we have a rematch already. We had the MSI rematch. We have the Eternal rematch. Can we get another, like, we have another rematch from Worlds last year tomorrow. Can we get we actually did we have PSG FlyQuest? We did get PSG FlyQuest, the rematch of, like, several tournaments now. Can we get the G2 BLG next week? Or, I guess, on Sunday. That is a future us problem. We'll find out tomorrow when the draw happens, as that will determine all the 2-2 matchups. But we'll also find out who wins between Weibo Gaming and Fnatic and Team Liquid and GAM Esports, both of those elimination matches, and simultaneously saving your season matches. But that is it for today. Rest in peace, PCS. I will see you next season as the LCP or whatever the hell they're calling it, because it's honestly really bad. But I have been Vox Kimchi. This has been the Kimchi Cast, and I will see you probably tomorrow. Maybe it's another complicated day as I got stuff to do. But have a good rest of your day.